Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you be on this planet Earth. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. This is episode 967 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Glad to be back today. Glad to talk some Steelers today as OTAs continue on day 2 of the 10-day OTA program that they have out, Mike. But a couple of things before we do get started. How are you today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you back. Glad to be here. I got a few issues real quick before we do get started. Mike, pull out your lists. I need to add something to the list of things that I hate.
Gotcha.
I'm 100% fed up and I hate underscores. That button on the phone on the keyboard, the underscore.
Mm-hmm.
And if I never ever see that stupid underscore again the rest of my life, I'll be just fine. And I don't know if I could even communicate or stay friends with anybody that uses the underscore. I hate the underscore. What is the purpose of the underscore, Mike?
I do not know, but it is now on the list.
It's included on the list. There it is. Still Loyal's putting the underscore on the screen. I just hate it. I don't even know if I can continue to be friends with one that uses the underscore. What a dumb thing. Even the little star looks like a little star, and I don't know the fucking underscore. Come on, maybe I'm just being fucking retarded, but the underscore. I'm very suspicious of people who use the underscore. Just saying.
I'm going to start using the underscore more often.
I hope that you won't. I hate the fucking underscore.
With you.
Also, a few other things before we do get underscores or such underachievers. Still Loyal says, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Glad to see everybody today for Total Steelers conversation driven by you, the Steeler fan. Glad to see everybody here today. As always, seeing new names on the board. I'm seeing old names on the board. Glad to see everybody here today. Mike, a couple of things. One more thing I do want to ask you is this. Of course, we have this big 1,000th episode coming up at the beginning of July that coincides with our 5-year anniversary. I need to ask you something. Now, I want to make the show good. I want this to be a banger. I don't want to come here and and limp through a show for our anniversary show. Are we able now? Because I know there's just certain things you can't do right here on YouTube. I wanted it to kind of be more of a rated R kind of show where it's funny and fun, and we could have some extra people coming in and do some extra things. But my question is this: are we able to, say, for example, do this show, but put it up on our website? Are we able to get away with more if we were to do that? I mean, not even put it on YouTube. Like have everybody, prepare everybody and tell them that it's going to be at the website. Is that a possibility to be able to do more without restriction? Because again, they kind of kill all the fun with all the things you can't do on the internet. And again, I want to have some fun with it. I want maybe some boobs, get some titties involved, get some women. I don't know, just some different ideas that I'm having that I just know that you can't do here. They'll be demonetizing us and everything else. What's what's the secret to this? Why can other people do this but I can't?
See, if we were to record the episode, we can do it that way. But I don't know how to stream it to the website while having everyone, because everyone finds the show from YouTube. They go there. Yeah. That's where all the board is. That's the only way I know how to do it. Even if we would direct everyone over to a Twitch channel, they would still shut that stuff down too.
Yeah,
so we would have to find a platform to where they can go. That's the problem. Like everyone's watching it on YouTube right now, and they would not. We could record something, they could watch it there, but
I don't. Let's
they wouldn't be able to interact or anything.
Let's say let's say we do it like this, like a let's see. Sheik says in the same time you could go live on 3 or 4 platforms. I don't want to go live on all these platforms. I just want to go live where I could do what I want to do. And again, it seems like people listen. The internet has 10 million titties on this fucking platform, and for some reason I can't get a titty on my show, and it's driving me nuts. 1,000 shows in, we've painted titties on this show. We've seen Derpy's titties on the show. Yet I'm restricted when it comes to titties. So let's think on that, Mike. Let's continue to work on it and think, because again, it's one show, and if it like I said, if it doesn't even go through YouTube, that's fine. We'll promote it and talk about it, and then make sure that everybody comes to wherever we're at come time for the show. That's my thought process. So if we could do something like that, I would love it. Welcome to you. Will Free 4410. He says, I found the show because of this dork I work with. Welcome to the show. And you're a pretty smart dork. But so that's something I'm going to be working on. Like I have about 6 weeks to get something figured out there. And also, I talked a little bit yesterday because I'm kind of getting just overall tired, Mike, because yesterday we talked about the death of Clarence Carter.
Yeah.
And I love Clarence Carter, the song Strokin'. And this is even another problem. Is there any way that we can do so this is somebody you know, Mike?
Yeah, it's someone that I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the joke's even funnier.
All
right. How about this? Now, when I would like to talk about a song, but of course, all the copyright issues again. Can we do a song reaction within the show, without the recording and without the video itself being a reaction video itself? I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that it has to be recorded. That's the way all those seem. They don't seem like there's any live.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. We'd have to listen to it, stop, react about it.
Yeah, which is fine.
Play the song, stop, talk about it, stop.
But can we do? My question is, can we do that live?
Yeah,
we could do that on a live show.
Yeah, it's just we just have to make that sound clip, that song, transformative. So we would have to sit there and have a discussion, more or less like. Take probably like a half-hour block of a show and talk about that
which is fine
piece of art, because we would listen, stop, talk about it, comments, read them, talk about it, then play it again and keep it going. Yeah, that's ways to get it. That's part of the DMCA. You just have to make whatever artwork you were talking about and restreaming and reshowing transformative. Because it would be like my blind reaction to the song, because I never heard it.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there laughing, giggling, talking about this, that, the third.
I think you'd really like it. The thing is, I was kind of surprised nobody knew what I was talking about yesterday when I was talking about Clarence Carter, and it's a classic, and it's dirty. And that's one thing I think people think, oh, it's an older song. How good can it be? It's actually dirty. It's a dirty song. Check it out. Do yourself a little bit of a favor and go check out Clarence Carter Stroking. And I'm going to work hard to make sure, Mike, that we can do a reaction. Maybe this week. I want to do it this week. Let's do it this week. We're going to do a reaction on the show to the song Stroking by Clarence Carter. That's in the works. And then again, Mike, we've got about 6 weeks to figure out what we could do for the show. And again, not all the time, just long enough to get some titties and some fun things again that we don't normally do to differentiate it from what we do every single day of the year. So that's a few ideas I have. You got to sit in on a meeting, everybody. This was in fact a Two Dumb Yinzers meeting
where you get to see that Ryan throws out these ideas and Mike and Vanilla Thunder have to figure out how the fuck we're going to pull this off.
Yeah, that's just basically how it goes.
Ryan's the idea guy, and I'm the one going, what can we do?
And this is exactly why Mike always has that look of confusion, because he usually has 15 things going on in front of him that you don't see that I'm on him about. So those two things, Mike, again, I'd like to get a reaction video to Stroking by Clarence Carter. Again, prepare yourself, everybody. Get on YouTube right here and listen to it. It's about 3-minute song, 4-minute song, but I want to do that. And also, Mike, the big party, the big episode 1000. Again, Mike, this is 967, just 33 shows away from that. So again, those things I do want to work on. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 967. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to get on the board bright and early, Mike. This is day 2 of the OTAs right here in Pittsburgh on the south side. Steelers are in the house, and day 2 of 10 of the OTA program they have. And we do chic. That song, as a matter of fact, the one that's at the beginning, the top of the show, that's a Suno song. But again, it's this one specific song that I do want to talk about. There's a bunch of them, but this one's right on the front of my brain right now. But welcome back, everybody. Steelers in town. Again, OTA's day 2 of the 10-day program. 3 days this week, 3 days next week, 4 days the following week, Mike, is the Steelers continue on their off season, a busy off season. It has been nonetheless. I do want to grab a couple of things real quick here, Mike. The Riveters, our women's soccer team, they named their mascot. Do you want to take a guess what it is? The Riveters chose,
Rosie?
It's a female soccer team, and the Riveters chose their mascot. Mike, go ahead and take your guess. What do you think that the mascot's name is?
I'm going to go with Rosie.
You're going to go with Rosie? That's a safe bet, right?
Yeah.
Rosie, Mike, is not the answer. The answer is they named their mascot Nellie. Nellie. Or Nelli, maybe. It's something like this. The Riveters, the Pittsburgh Riveters, the women's soccer team, named you guessed it, their mascot, Nellie. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Underwhelmed.
I'm very underwhelmed. A Nellie? Come on, you have the perfect opportunity to have a Rosie. There's no better opportunity for a nickname than this, and they went with Nellie.
Like it better be like a giant nail, and it's Nellie the nail.
It's Mike. It's spelled Nell. It's Nell. It's not nail. It's.
I know. I'm confused.
Speaking of which, though, Mike, our Nailers, the West Virginia hockey team, of course, the small team for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they win, Mike. They won their North something last night. I know that they won. It's big. They're celebrating. They're moving on. So good on them. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates back in action today. Open up a 3-game series at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri against the Cardinals. Game time is 7:45 in game 1 of 3 today. Buccos at Cards. Buccos coming with a 24-23 record into this game. Everybody, welcome back to the show. Great to see us today. Let me get on the board bright and early. We're going to get into some OTAs. Mike, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about quarterbacks. We're going to talk about things that happened yesterday. Some questions we may have as far as the OTAs go, as the Steelers are in town. A lot of people, Mike, are involved. Some people aren't involved yet. Again, we'll get to all that here soon. Let's jump back on the board, everybody. Welcome to the show. Great to see us today. I'm going to go right here, and my board is upside down. Like, it's going downwards now instead of upwards, where I would usually go to the bottom to find the newest comments, but it is not. Everything that is new is at the top. So I don't know what's going on, but we'll try it out.
I don't know either, man. Your board's all jacked up.
let's get on to the board. Steelers Chic, always great seeing Steelers Chic. Brand new face on the terrible board. brand new name here on the show. I love it. All the way from Saudi Arabia, if I'm remembering right. Steelers Chic, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here, brother. Getting ready for some Steelers football. I think by the name, I think that you're Steeler fan, so that's awesome. Welcome, bro. Dude, John says, afternoon, fellas. Always great seeing dude on a terrible board. Hope things are going good for you, dude, on this Titty Tuesday. Mike, it is Titty Tuesday.
It is Titty Tuesday.
And I almost forgot. Let me do something here.
Madam, I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
It is Titty Tuesday, everybody. We're back at it. Let's get back on the board right here. Steelers Chic says good evening, and again, that's why I did mention the evening, Mike, because in the Middle East it would be evening time. So welcome to you, sir. The original Yinzer Joe says, what's up? Yinzer's my man. Always great seeing the OG Yinzer Joe in the house. Always great seeing you, dude. How's it going for you? Steel Loyal says this. I do want to say what's up to Steel. He says, A-Rod, ready to play. Love to see it. He is locked in. From what I hear, Mike showed up with bells on. Matter of fact, I made a big mistake yesterday. I said he showed up at 9 o'clock. He showed up at 7 o'clock yesterday. The practice didn't start till 11 a.m. Aaron Rodgers was there bright and early. Mike, as soon as the sun came up pretty much at 7 o'clock, Aaron Rodgers comes rolling in, ready to go, focused. A lot to talk about today regarding him as well. Let's go to Just Learning. Always great seeing Just Learning. Says, best damn Steelers podcast. We appreciate you, sir. And you guys are the best damn, the board, the people that tune in. Love you guys, as always. Tortilla, he says, who's scoring? Why are you under him? Always great seeing Tortilla Jackson all the way from Sacramento, California. My man, Tortilla Jackson in the house. I hate it. I hate the underscore. I hate it. Like I said, I can't even be involved with anybody that uses the underscore. I just can't. I won't. Let's move along. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Underscores are such underachievers. They are. And like, why? You know, there's 100 keys on that damn keyboard. The underscore. And then people always manage to put it in their emails, Mike, like our one of our other partners for the show. Mm-hmm. She has underscores in her.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate it because all the time I'm saying, what the fuck did I do? What is wrong with this? Why isn't this not it's that fucking underscore every time. Every time.
It gets you every goddamn time.
I have to take a whole place in a corner of my brain to remember that you have a fucking underscore in your email address. I don't know. I told you it's high on my list. Let's go here to Steelers Chic. He says, what's the topics of today? We do got Steelers, of course, OTAs, day 2 of the 10-day program. A little bit about Aaron, a little bit about the offensive line, some other news we got yesterday, and some questions. Some people are not participating. Some people are. We're going to get into all that today to stay fresh on top of all the OTA news. Let's continue on the board. Let's go right here to Aaron J. There he is in the house with the Rockets. My man, always great seeing Aaron J. in the house, sir. Thank you for the message. We love this comment. You know I love it.
It gets you through the day.
It does. At least gets me through the show. And after the show, I might be hanging myself. But through the show, it gets me through, and that's a good thing. Let's go here to yes. You know what? I pay homage to him on the show quite often, actually. He is somebody that I've looked up to my whole life. And I try not to do a lot of what he does because, again, I don't want people saying you're trying to beat him because I'm not. This is my interest that I've always had, but he is somebody that I've always looked up to by the professionalism in the way that he does it. I just think he's a very interesting person and always been one of my heroes. Let's go to a little further here along. Let's go see Will Free. That is Mike's friend from work. He knows
friend's doing a lot of work in that.
He knows the dork. He knows the dork. Yinzers Gone Wild, Steel Loyal says. Just Learning says it's called OnlyFans. Maybe we'll be on OnlyFans after the 1,000 episode. Who knows? We'll see. Let's go here to episode or Tortilla Jackson says episode 1,000 on porno. Perhaps wherever we can get it. I don't know. We're gonna get it though. You want titties? We're gonna get you titties. Damn it. We're not gonna let you down. Let's continue here. Steeler Chic says this in the same time. You could go live on 3 or 4 platforms. So we will be working on that. Again, I think that we have about 6 weeks to get on that. And I would love to just be unrestricted for just one show. Just one show to let it all hang out, if you will. Literally and figuratively. Let's continue on the board. Go right here to where Chad Schrader. Always great seeing Chad on the board. He says this. What's up, Ryan and Mike? And here we go, Steelers. Here we go, baby. That's right, Chad. Always great seeing you here, sir. Always great seeing you on a terrible board. I know that you're ready for these Steelers just like we are. Aaron J laughed my friggin' ass off. Wilfrey says, I found this show because of this dork I work with. Let's go to Steeler Chic says, for the other platforms, you can provide mini clips like shorts. Gotcha. Sheik's already more productive on the show than Derpy is.
Everyone is more productive on the show than Derpy.
I know.
Derpy.
I'm about to
out there.
I'm about to get rid of Derpy's sound effect and give Sheik a sound effect. Let's do scoot along here a little bit. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Now we got to guess who the dork is. I'm guessing Mark Malone. Oh, Mike is the dork. I gotcha. Steel, just learning. Steeler only fans. Lindsay, always great seeing Lindsay on the terrible board. Tortilla says my boss would walk by and see strippers on my phone, and I'd be trying to tell him it's just a Steeler podcast. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I envision when I close my eyes. Is Tortilla at work watching naked chicks on his phone. Let's go here to Chad Schrader. Chad says this is about time we go some raining. I can't stand the 90-degree weather. It is going to go down though, Chad. Yes, it was 90 yesterday, and yes, for all of us that are still getting used to it and adapting, it's hot. No two ways about it. But it's going to cool down for a little bit this week to let us catch the colds, perhaps, as the weeks go on, and we'll all be sniffling and coughing and snorting and projectile spitting everywhere before you know it. Let's go right here to Sosh. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Sosh all the way from Switzerland. My man Sosh in the house, ready to talk some Steelers. Great to see you, bro, as always. Steelers Chic, you could make songs. Yes, I do love Suno, of course. We do use them as well. Let's go here. Steelers Chic says called football, not soccer. Yeah, I thank you. Well, no, not thank you. Wait a minute. Football to Yinz guys would be soccer, right? Gotcha. That's a tough one, Mike. That's almost as tough as transferring currency when you go from one place to another to get your from dollars to shekels. You got to remember this. You can't talk to somebody from that's not here and not
see. I like both sports. I can sit down and watch any American football game. I can sit down and watch any European football game, and I love both sports. So I kind of make a conscious effort, like when I'm talking to people who know a lot about European football, what we call soccer, I refer to it as football. But when I'm talking to like a bunch of Americans, I'm going to say soccer. It's all about it's that language barrier, not language barrier, but it's just like the common parlance of the land. So I love both sports. I think they're both fun to watch. That's just me. I played both. I like watching both. So I just change it up, whoever I'm speaking to.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I get you do. You have to make a conscious effort because I was 10 out of 10 times not call soccer football. Let's go to Steel Loyal here. He says it's soccer. Tortilla says Nelly, the halftime show. Steel Chic Foot. Steel Loyal says socks. Let's go here to Ty, my man. The GOAT. Ty is in the house. GOAT. As always, the GOAT Ty. He says JPJ is the GOAT. But you know I disagree with that. How you doing, brother? Always great seeing Tyrone on the board. My man. Tortilla says make a bagel. Make a bagel. Tater says hi, 30-second organization. You know what? I'm okay today. I'm not in a bad mood. How you doing? How you doing, you weird numpty?
You numpty.
You numpty. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, oh, yeah, A-Rod is locked in. He sure is. Tater says, go Browns. Of course, the Browns fan here on the Steelers show. He pops his head in every once in a while to say hi. And you know what? We're not ready to kill him yet, so he's been a good sport. For whatever reason, Tater Tard, there you go. Tater says, go Browns. Lindsay says, Browns suck. Steel Loyal says, I watched the Browns go this morning down my toilet. Let's go also to Tater. He says, who the hell calls football soccer? Anyway, just you Yanks, greatest sport in the world. Let's go down to Georgianne. I do want to say what's up to Georgianne. Great seeing you on the board as always. Georgianne says, hey, Ryan. Hey, Mike. And always say hello. Hello to you. Tortilla, he says, Deshaun Watson is your quarterback. Steel Loyal says they flop more than LeBron. That's, you know what, I was watching something the other day, and that's the difference. I remember Michael Jordan had the flu. He couldn't even stand up, and he went and hit a game-winning shot in a playoff game. And what's the finger quotes? This is 100% true. He had the flu. He had like over 100-degree flu. Went out, played the game, hit the game-winning shot to win. I can't even see LeBron bump into somebody without him falling on the ground and squirming everywhere.
I've
make
seen
faces like that's not
I've seen
true.
LeBron James dunk through 5 guys while being pulled down from behind.
So you're obviously not looking for
I've seen Jordan get bumped in the ribs, fall down.
No, you didn't.
Nothing called. They can get up and run.
No, you didn't.
Every player does it.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Listen, the thing is, you don't know. You think that you know, but if you go back and watch, you don't know. I know. I was a huge NBA fan in the 90s, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I see LeBron fall on the ground every time somebody bumps into him. It's actually ridiculous.
That's SGA. And that's the guy who just won back-to-back MVPs.
I don't even know what that means, but I do know that I see LeBron on the ground all the time. And I'll start sending you every single video I come across because I don't think that you know what I'm talking about. Let's do Scoot on the board right here and say that Steel Loyal says, sorry, Tyrone. The original OG. Yinzer Joe says, Broderick Jones wears a helmet but isn't participating. What? Why? If you can't participate, why? Or you there?
Conditioning.
But he's not even doing anything. So, again, we'll get to that in just a second. Lots to get into today. Also, I've seen Aaron Rodgers already having issues with his helmet. If this...
Him and that goddamn helmet.
See, this is what I'm saying. Yes, I'm down for it this year. I'm down for the run that we can make. But all the Rodgers-isms is going to get on my fucking nerves this year. I just know they are. They got on my nerves, and I stomached it last year. But we'll see how everything goes this year. Let's turn to Tyrone. Tyrone says cough more than Jordan. Tater says FIFA is worth about 200 more, but the thing is, who cares? I can be honest with you. Most people don't care here. Some people do. Some people do, and some people pretend to like it more than they actually do. I know these people as well. They really get into it when it's time, and but they never talk about it.
Every 4 years they get into it.
Right? You don't hear them talk about it for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, I love soccer. Do you remember this one? In 06. Oh, Italy. You know, get the fuck out of here with your soccer. But anyway, you can love soccer. That's fine. But again, yeah, who cares? And just that's just how I feel. Let's scoot down here a little bit. Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, laugh my ass off. Tyrone, they don't know who SGA is. It's so I had to use Braun. Mike knows who it is. I refuse to watch modern day basketball. It's terrible. Let's go here to Tortilla. Fly more than Kobe. Steel Loyal says, and you damn well MJ didn't flop. Tortilla says, go to soccer podcast and Tater. Can you imagine a soccer podcast? Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, yes, he do. Laugh my ass off. He push off. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Tater, why are you so obsessed with Steelers podcast if soccer is so much better? And not only that, his favorite football team isn't even the Steelers. Browns. But again, I encourage Tater to keep coming back. He's he's been okay. He could have certainly been, in behind enemy lines. He could have definitely been a lot worse. He could definitely be a lot worse. You got to admit, guys. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Don't you guys rip us off with the midget boobs and derpy either. I'm not, man. Listen. I'm on top of this. I want it all to happen. I just don't know why the internet don't want it to happen. But on a system that has more porn than anything else on it, which the internet does, I still can't put a boobie up. So there you go. Losing everything here again. I don't know why it continues to do this, but I think we survived it. Mike, you fix it fast too now. Now that I got the head, now that I have the dummy head, you're on it, man. These problems get fixed fast.
You were the one who went away, not me.
You're the one controlling the system, ass.
But I didn't even touch anything.
But you're still controlling the system.
I know it's all my fault. Well, people say, a certain religion controls the world. Actually, it's Mike controls.
I don't agree with that at all, but I know some people do say that.
So do I, brother. So do I. It's like,
but I know a lot more people that say. I know a lot more people that say otherwise. So we'll just continue on the board here.
Mike's failed tempted humor once again. Forward all complaints to Chewed on Yinzers at Mike.
Tyrone, you get rid of that couch yet, Tater. Tater says football is played and loved in every country in the world. Gridiron is only played in North. Well, yeah, why does Europe want it so bad? Huh? You're in Europe. Why do they want us to come there and play 10 games this year? Why does it grow more and more every year? Why do they want 2 games in England? Why do they, you're out of your mind. Football's going to take over as again, whatever. Whatever. I can't have this conversation. Let's go to there ends the debate, he says.
That ends the debate.
That ends the debate, you numpty. The be-all, end-all. There it is, Tater. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Football, yeah, American football, soccer is gay. Tortilla says, yet you're here. Tater says, and how the hell can you call teams that win a Super Bowl or Major League? Because nobody cares what happens in Europe. If Yins were good at any of these things, Yins would be more notable. Yins would make more money. Yins would be better. You don't check any of those marks. Nobody cares what goes on in Europe. With all due respect, of course. Let's continue on. Let's go to Cody. I'll be snorting if you know what I mean. Cody, always great seeing you on the board. And I do know what you mean. Tortilla says, because players come. Exactly, because players come from around the world to play in our leagues, dude. The people that suck go to your countries. Have you ever seen the pro basketball teams in Europe? Those are people that can't hack it. They can't make it to the NBA. Yins get the crumbs.
The crumbs.
Yins get the crumpets. Let's do scoot along. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Tater has no common sense. I agree. Somber, what's up, dude? Somber says, howdy. Great seeing you in the house today. As always, Somber, my man
up, homie?
From LA, California. Let's go right here to Tortilla. He says, kids don't grow up saying, I want to play in the UFL. They realize they can't make the NFL and they go to the UFL. Just Learning says, this brown bag special for the Browns. Somber to Goat. Tyrone is saying. Also, Tater says that horse shit Tortilla, and you know it. It's really not. Why do the terrible people go to Europe to play pro sports? Because nobody cares. Somber. If you call it footy or footy, nobody gets confused. Footy or footy, of course. What's going on? Tyrone. Somber says, Cody, I know why you guys don't hang out with me anymore. It's because I party so fucking hard. Yes, Danny McBride, always great, loving the lines. Tortilla says, nope, kids want to be quarterback for every team except that's what I'm saying. even the one thing that he does like that's American, he likes the very worst of it with the Browns. But that's our Tater. That's why we keep him around. Steel Loyal says this. Even Drew Aller is done being a Browns fan. We converted him. Let's go to Tater. He says Drew Aller wants to be a quarterback for the Browns. Yeah, hey, take him.
No, he does not, Tater. You don't put that evil on him. Like, he would be the best quarterback in Browns franchise history at his current development, which is not the greatest right now. You guys are really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Europe. All right, let's go here. Lindsay says you guys have enough quarterbacks. Don't even try, Tater. Back off, man. Steel Loyal says, listen up, Tyrone. Tater says this. He says, so where are all the Spanish, Britain, Brazilian, French, Dutch? What? Nope. They're trying to get them. Have you watched anything over the past 2 years? They want more. They want
all the quarterbacks.
They want all of our teams. Why do you think we're playing 10 games over in that crap hole? Somber Vanilla is capping so hard. He's Mike today. Well, here's something I learned. He's only vanilla when he has the skullet on. Did you guys know that? Maybe you did. I didn't. This is a thing, apparently. If you look at Mike's his name board, it will say Mike if he doesn't have the skullet on. I never noticed that. Mike's playing his own games like with himself here, and I'm just figuring these things out 5 years later. But if he has the skullet on, he's Vanilla Thunder. So Mike is here today, correct, Mike?
Mike is here. I have to, like, Vanilla Thunder is, He walked off into the wilderness yesterday. He said, muttering something about the heat and had to go find a pool or a sauna or some shit. I don't know what he was talking about. I think the heat got to Vanilla Thunder.
Yinzer Joe, Jordan is the GOAT. I couldn't agree more. Let's scoot along. 6-0 in the finals. LeBron went to like 10 and he only won 4. That's
Bill Russell has 11.
That he's not in the conversation. We're talking
He's
about
the GOAT. We're talking about the GOAT, right? So
no,
Bill
you're
Russell's
no,
the greatest because he has 11.
No, you're not talking about rings.
6.
No, we're talking about the greatest player of all time. That has nothing to do with 11 rings because Bill Russell is not the best player of all time.
Then why'd you bring up rings then?
Because the point I brought up rings is because LeBron went to the championship 10 times and only brought home 4 rings. That's the point I was making. Was his inability to win championships. What about
his ability to take teams that were? He was only favored, I think, in 3 of those.
Mike, he only played on super teams. Those doesn't matter. Yeah. Mike, every team he goes to teams because they're. Listen, Jordan and Kobe.
Jordan played in a watered down era.
He did not. That was the best era of NBA basketball, Mike. You do not know.
The expansion era.
What expansion era?
He didn't go through Detroit. He didn't go through the Celtics.
Yes, he did.
He lost to Bird. He lost to Bird. He lost to Isaiah Thomas. How many times? He didn't beat Magic and Kareem.
He beat Magic in the NBA final. You see, you have no idea what you're talking about.
He didn't win.
Listen, I have to continue because, again, you obviously have no clue what you're talking about. So we have to continue.
How many times in the first rounds of the playoffs?
We have to
continue. He was
continue.
swept how many times in the
Mike,
first
he
round?
never, listen, he stayed in the same place no matter how hard it got and continued to win.
LeBron, he didn't win anything until he got
only
Pippen.
went to Miami whenever, Mike,
listen,
I let you talk. He only went to Miami when he had players set there for him. He only went to Cleveland if players would come there play with him. This is totally different than, Mike, it's not even the same story.
Jordan didn't win anything until he had Pippen and Phil Jackson. They had to go out and
see, and this is another reason I understand why you do not understand. So I'm going to continue forward because that is one of the most ridiculous arguments.
It's all
Scottie Pippen.
Phil Jackson said Scottie Pippen was the better player than Michael Jordan.
See, so you literally have no idea what you're talking about.
He was called the GOAT before he made it out of the first round of the playoffs.
See, this is what, again, Mike, you really don't know what you're saying. So I'm going to continue. Scottie Pippen was nowhere as good as people make him out to be. And again, Dennis Rodman with his 2 points a game. Yes, he got bounds, but again, you still have to score points. So at the end of the day, let's do scoot along. This was actually kind of comical. Still Loyal says SGA is the GOAT for flopping for real. Let's go here to Cody. He says, always have ever since I was a baby. Used to drum my mom's boobs, chug milk, pass out on the floor. Somber says this. Jordan literally had people hanging. I agree. He had people hanging on him. It's not even but again, I can't continue to do this.
Check the foul.
You're talking about this with LeBron. No, it wasn't. No, listen, NBA in the 90s had the best defense ever, Mike. The best.
It was
defense.
all isolation defense. You can only double team at the last
again.
or you had a hard commit.
It's really frustrating because again, you don't know what you're saying. So I'm going to continue here some more. Let's continue to go on the board. I'm going to go here. Tater says world champions, my ass. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, again, you don't put up a team that can even take on our championship, so we are. We are the world champions because listen, you don't put a horse in the race, ass. If you put somebody up against our guys and then you beat us, but you don't even do that. So we're the world champions. Yeah. Try to say somebody's.
Yeah,
Tater, you're a fuck.
See, this is why, Ryan. This is why I'm glad Tater's here. You and I were getting a little tense, and he came along and said something stupid that we can reunite our hatred towards the correct person. So thank you, Tater. You're keeping us together.
You're a fuck in the most respectable way. Let's move along. No, Derpy or Tater.
I was gonna say.
Well, I called him a fuck, and then I thought to myself, I don't want to call him a fuck, but he is a fuck.
I'm saying, hey, I didn't mean to get us derailed talking basketball. I apologize.
Oh, I already forgot about it. Look, Mike has disappeared. My favorite part of the show. My favorite part of the show is right here. All right.
Hold on.
Hold on. No, you're back.
There you go. No.
All right, come on. Let's do a show.
Okay.
Let's go, bro. Braun is the GOAT, is what Ty is saying. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Tater, shut the fuck up. Laugh my ass off. Lindsay says this. Yes, Somber. Somber says, as a power forward, LOL. Steel Loyal. Nobody gives a fuck about soccer here. I do want to say what's up to John Anthony on the board. John Anthony, welcome back to the show. I recognize the name. John says this. Rodgers is and always has been a prima donna. I agree. And I'm ready for him to be done. But again, I'm ready for this ride too. Let's see what we can do this season. But when it's done, I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm going to be okay with Aaron being done. Steeler Chic says, what is the best seats on Acrisure Stadium? I'm planning to attend some games. Just like anywhere else, though, Sheik, it's going to be the most expensive seats. Just go on the ticket apps and see what the most expensive seat is. That's going to be your best seats. I hate to say that, but that's the cold, hard, honest facts.
Yeah, the couple times I've been there, the best seats I had like mid-level. It wasn't 50-yard line. I think it was at like the 40-yard line. Those were really, really good seats. You're able to see the entire field for the most part, and like even if you're looking down at the far end, you still had a good idea of what was happening from the line of scrimmage on. So there's really not that bad of a seat in the house.
Now, if you're talking pirate game, if you want to go to see a baseball game, which I don't know if you do, you probably don't. However, every seat when you go to a PNC Park is amazing. I've been to everywhere you can sit in that park, and every seat is just as good as the last. But again, you're really looking at a lot of money when it comes time to get good seats. But yeah, right or somewhere around the 50. Anywhere's good. But you see, if you're at 50, you can see pretty much everything equally. End zones are great because you can see the action, but you don't see anything going down at the other end of the field when it's being played down there. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says LeBron wouldn't even be the scoring leader if he went to college like Jordan. At Jordan's numbers from college to his career, Jordan is the GOAT. Let's go to Somber. Somber says this. Somber says, who started the basketball? That's what I'm saying. I don't even know where that started from.
I don't know, but whoever they are, you're on the enemy list for the day.
Lindsay says, no clue. I checked out for a minute. Tater said some Mexican guy is a field kicker, so yours are world champions. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of offended for Cody. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. John Anthony says this. I'll never forget the kid asking him for an autograph and told Rogers, I thought you'd be taller, and Rogers didn't sign it because he was always sensitive about his height. Always a big head. Still Loyal, he says, there aren't any Mexican kickers, Tater. Just shut up. Shut up. Somber says, it was Loyal, laughed my ass off. Still Loyal, you're making a fool of yourself. Kenneth says, hey guys, Team Howard in full effect. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Kenneth on the terrible board. As always, a lot to get into today. I swear to you. We'll be into our Steelers in just one moment. Guys, I'm trying to stay on the curve here, and not get behind. Still Loyal says, Lindsay says, I read that like 5 times and didn't get it. Let's go here to Still Loyal. Still Loyal says this. Still Loyal says something. Still Loyal says, I didn't talk about basketball. LOL, I just used basketball to shit on soccer. Tater. Okay, that's fair. As long as it went into shitting on
Tater's
Tater.
Fault, then. It's Tater's fault then. Okay.
Then it doesn't go in vain. Somber says, you said soccer players flop more than Braun. LOL, that's why. I gotcha. All right. It's all good, man. I got it out of my system. Let's go to Still Loyal. That's not talking about basketball. That is using basketball to shit on soccer. MJ versus Braun topic, says Somber. Let's go here to Tater. He says there's Americans in the Spanish and Greek basketball leagues. Does that make their teams? No, again, you're not even listening. Is anybody listening to me today? I'm arguing with Mike and he's not listening. I'm arguing with Tater. He's not listening.
I'm listening to you when we argue, but you know how it is with us. I choose not to listen.
No, you choose not to agree no matter what. No matter if
exactly.
If you agree. Yeah, that's why I've got a strategy. You notice we haven't fought a lot lately.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I've been extinguishing every situation because I just because.
It's better that way.
Let's scoot along. Tater, to answer your question, that's where we send our scraps to play basketball. We send them to Greek. We send them to Greece. We send them to all these Euro places because they're not good enough to play in the pros here. So, no, they wouldn't be world champions, you numpty.
You numpty.
Steele says, I didn't start that. Tyrone did. Tyrone says, Lindsay, you didn't do it back. Wow. Lindsay, do what? Steel Loyal says he brought up MJ when I used Braun as an example. John Anthony, why is everybody on this one and not the portrait version of the live stream? Portrait? I don't know. That's a good question, John. And again, it's kind of something that we debate here in the future. I'm reading a comment while I'm saying this. This is something that we debate here on the show because some people like the vertical, some people don't. I'm not necessarily a big fan of it, but some people do like it that way. Tortilla, he says, I bet Tater's one hell of a cricket player. Cricket. Never notice. You ever notice he doesn't bring up cricket when he's talking about how his sports are better?
Right.
Lindsay says, okay, didn't see it. With the 90-20, there's what Ty was talking about. Tater says cricket is way better than the Rounders you play, Tora. The Rounders.
The Rounders?
I don't even know. See,
I mean, that was a good Ed Norton, Matt Damon movie about poker, Rounders. But
Lindsay says, I work, not staring at it every second. I got to check my computer once in a while. Totally understand.
Work is overrated. We're more. Get your boss on the line. We'll let them know that this is more important.
Tater says more skillful game too. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Let's go to Somber. He says they flop more than Braun. Sorry, Ty. Then Tyrone said cough more than Jordan. It was you. Let's go to BC Dub. What up, BC Dub? In the house. I think it's a hi. Welcome to the show, BC Dub. Great to have you here. Still loyal. Says I don't give a fuck. Somber. Damn. Let's go on a little bit here. Where did it go? I'm getting used to the way this is going. Like it's going the opposite way. So when I get on, I automatically start scrolling down upwards because that's the way I always got to do it. And then I go to do it, and it just f's up my whole screen. Let's go. Okay, right here. I think we're at. Here we go. And John Anthony, he says Aller's entire family are Browns fans. Show poor judgment skills, in my opinion. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, y'all see what Pittman said about Bernard. I told you I did. Pittman's excited. Everybody's excited. I know that the Steelers are in great spirits up there, guys. OTA's off to a great start. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more, Mike. We got to get the Steeler talk. Yeah. I apologize. Somber says Receipt Master has entered the chat. The Receipt Master is in the house. Yinzer Joe, he says the Browns are ready for the supplemental draft so they can get B. Sorsby. Sorsby is out there. I did see something going on with him yesterday. I didn't read the article, though. Tater says this Aller is broke. Aller is a Brown. He was physically sick when, not according to what he said. But let's go on to Steel Loyal. We've been past that shit for like 10 minutes now. Let's go on to Mark Malone. Always great seeing Mark Malone in the house. Europe used to be awesome. It's less European nowadays and no more like Detroit. I agree. People don't love Europe the way they used to. They surely don't. Not that I know of in my life anyway. People used to love to go there. Now you get bad reports, but again, different day, different show. Lindsay says nobody gives a fuck. Tater, take them. That's what I'm saying. So go ahead. What's the problem here? Vanilla Thunder. John Anthony says, "Oh shit, Steel Loyal Cody. Talk about Deontay Johnson." Somber says this. Well, now we're talking about basketball. Tyrone, hold up, Brian. Braun played way better. They don't have centers now. Centers played a big deal of defense back in the day because they were 7 foot tall. Yes, we do have 7 foot tall guys now, but these guys were all defensive monsters. Go watch Elijah one. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. He says A-Rod about to win us a Super Bowl with McCarthy. So there's that. Lindsay says here we go, just like the GC weekly debate. Tyrone, finals wise, not even close. Somber, laughed my ass off. Let's scoot down and grab a couple more. Tyrone, I know Braun didn't get whooped first round 7 times in a row. Lindsay says Jordan is better. Cody says Kobe is the GOAT. Steel Loyal says A-Rod. But LeBron, after even 100 years of playing, still only got 4 championships. But anyway, let me continue on. Steel Loyal says A-Rod is better than Braun and MJ put together. Lindsay says, what did Lindsay say? Lindsay says this. Knew you were going to say that. Ty says Scottie Pippen. Well, they do count, but again, it's not the same. Listen, we'll have a whole conversation on this one day because again, I have to get onto the Steelers. Tortilla says this is Tater's fault. Tyrone, Mike, you right. Braun can carry. Again, we'll get back to that. Tater, LeBron is the daddy. There you go. You and Tater have the same opinion, so enjoy yourself there. With that, Steel Loyal says Tater says it's not true. Somber says that debate always gets everyone right, and that's what I'm saying. There's not going to be any resolve. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is because again, I lived through both, and I heavily listen. I don't even want. I don't have to explain myself. I know that. Let's continue on. Let's go here. Let's go to Somber. That debate always gets okay. We did get that. Literally, Lindsay says, it's hilarious. Browns fans making fun of an organization with 6 rings while Cleveland hasn't won a championship in a Super Bowl era, 56 years. Look, Steelers took 6. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. This is what it's like arguing with people that have no argument. This is exactly what it's like. Do you feel how frustrating it is? So
it's like talking to Derpy.
Kind of.
See, and this is what Tater's doing. He's coming in to try and mess up the flow and the vibe of the board in the show. Because that's what Browns fans do. They have nothing of their own, so they just want to shit on everyone else and cause dissent.
I think my argument's going to be is going to be rather devastating too. I'm seeing I'm seeing somber. No, Ty. He's pretty confident in his argument, but again, I think it'll be a lot better than you think that it's going to be. Let's go on to Cody. Cody says this: Scottie Pippen went to Scottie Pippen went to the Trailblazers, did nothing. He went to the Houston Rockets, did nothing. He went everywhere he went. As a matter of fact, when he was on the Rockets, he had Akeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, and Clyde Drexler on his team, and that team did not get it done. I'm just saying. Let's continue on. I blame Lindsay. Lindsay says, yes.
Lindsay's perfect, guys.
Agree. Tater, I only make fun of the 32nd ranked organization, which are the Browns.
Yeah.
I literally don't know what you go by besides fucking bathroom stalls, which is ridiculous.
Hey, when you're losing the argument, you start grasping at bathroom stalls.
Absolutely. So you make fun of the Browns. Same, still loyal, says Tater. Okay, I'm going to continue. All right, I'm going to stop right there just because I have to. Just because this has gone on way too long. Unless you want to hear me sing Clarence Carter.
No one wants to hear you sing.
All right. Let's get at it. Get at it. Here we go. Let's talk about OTAs, guys. Pittsburgh Steelers back at it. A 10-day program, 3 days this week, 3 days next week, and 4 days the following week to wrap it up. Guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the south side. They are in town. Lots going on. Some people, Mike, that did not participate in day one. JPJ was present. However, he didn't participate in team activity. He did stretching. He did work on his own. Mike, also, Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, Jamel Dean, and Jalen Ramsey all did not participate in team drills yesterday in day one. That could be totally different today. Again, I don't know the answer. I'm not there, Mike. But as we know right now, yesterday, those people did not participate in practice. Also, right here, Broderick Jones, he did not participate yesterday. If I'm reading that right, I think somebody even had that on the board. Broderick Jones did not participate yesterday. Again, Mike, with his neck.
Yeah.
And there was a big turnover on this offensive line in sense of the positions.
Yeah.
Mike, Zach Frazier, the way they have the offensive line now is the only starter on the offensive line who is in the same position right now as he was last year.
Yeah.
Again, they moved McCollum, or what's his name? McCormick. And that's my other question. Where is McCullough anyway, Mike? Because he's still in the mix, because in that same draft, they got McCullough and they got McCormick. And McCullough, that's a name that certainly fell by the wayside. As a matter of fact, I don't even recall hearing that name.
He's on the roster. He's signed. He's one of the backup centers at this point. I believe he should still be on the roster. Last time I checked, McCollum was listed as the backup center.
So there's a lot going on with this offensive line. Of course, they switched it all around. Like they put tell me what the offensive line was yesterday. I don't recall how they had it.
Yesterday. Hold on, give me 1 second. I have it written down. It was going left to right. We had Fatanu, McCormick, Frazier, then Spencer Anderson, and Dylan Cook. So
Spencer Anderson is kind of, and again, this is way early. But Spencer Anderson was who they went with at the right guard, Dylan Cook at right tackle, which we're hoping that IMAX will eventually be that person.
Yeah.
And then Fatanu at left tackle. And who at guard?
McCormick
at guard.
Yeah, they kept that tandem together.
And if anything, Mike, I think that this would be a good indication of we're going to learn a lot about this team this year, and it's not going to be a whole bunch of the same as we've been getting used to in Pittsburgh with our football team, Mike. There's a lot that we're going to see, and we're not going to. And as I keep saying this, we're not going to be able to go, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a different situation. It's not as predictable yet, anyway. it may become as time goes. But see, I'm there for that. I like the fact that he came in, took this line issue that we had, and flipped it around.
Yeah, and they did that again today. They had Jennings Dunker running at left guard in the period that the media is able to see. So we don't know what they're doing, what all the different line combinations are. But I don't know if it was Jerry Evans or Angelico who said, yeah, we're mixing and matching everyone right now on the line because we want everyone to be comfortable playing both sides of the line because you never know what's going to happen throughout the season. Someone gets hurt, someone's not performing well. You got to move all the moving pieces. So right now they're trying everyone out at different spots, like left guard, right guard, they'll flip. Right tackle, left tackle will flip. They're throwing out a bunch of different combinations right now because they want everyone to have a feel for all parts of the line. And I think the players that they have that ability. Like Broderick Jones proved he did not have the ability to flip-flop spots. He's like that guy that you would have to more or less keep him at that left tackle position because for some odd reason he could not figure out the right side. Everyone else that they have, they can bounce back and forth. McCormick and Fatandu, they played left in college, but they had the athletic ability and the mental ability to be able to switch spots once they got to the pros and not miss a beat. So they have that advantage there. It looks like IMAX can play both sides. Dylan Cook's looking like he's able to play both sides too. Dunker, he's played right tackle in college, but now they're kicking him inside, so he's going to have to adjust there. But he looks like he has the athletic ability and the mental ability to flip-flop sides. So that's good. I like that versatility that everyone has, and that's a big component of Mike McCarthy's teams on offense. Everyone has to play multiple positions within that position. He wants all the receivers to play all the different.
Let me tell you
spots
something,
inside,
Mike.
outside.
Let me tell you a little bit. This is what smart coaches do, and people are going to say, well, no, this is what smart coaches do. And let me explain why. Remember when Bill Belichick was up there going to the Super Bowl 10 times, whatever it was, with little white guys no bigger than I am? Most, his star players, they weren't the superstars in the league. They were guys that were only good when they played there. You know what he did better than anybody? He had defensive linemen dropping back into coverage. He had linebackers doing the fact that these guys aren't afraid to try different things. Everything was so cut in stone in the past, Mike, under the last coaching staff. Well, he never played right tackle. He's not going to be able to do it. He never put his left hand down on the left. It was. But
they tried doing that. They tried doing that though with Broderick Jones.
Well, hold on, please. Out. I let you have prove your point for 2 minutes. Listen, and I'm just saying that this is things that you noticed that what good football. Why now are they able to try different things where before they weren't able? That's what I'm saying. I like what this coaching staff is bringing. It's doing smart things, and I'm not going to say the last coaching staff didn't do smart things. I'm just saying what I'm seeing right now, an observation that I'm making is smart things are being done on the practice field, on the football field. I want to see what the hell everybody could do everywhere because there's a chance I might have to put you there one day. I don't want to say, well, he just don't play that position, so that's not an option. That don't work for me. That doesn't work for smart football teams. What I'm seeing right now, on top of the good vibes by this coaching staff, by these players, is everybody's buying into this system because I think they see the writing on the wall. Good things should happen because, again, things are being done like that we haven't seen quite some time in Pittsburgh. And I think you're going to see the fruit of it on the football field this year.
Well, just hopefully, these players are able to grasp.
Oh, did you like that?
Whoa!
As soon as Mike started talking, it went dead.
I know, right? I am a curse.
I thought, is this my lucky day or what?
I'm a curse on the show. Every time I start talking, the board goes down. But no, hopefully, because they tried doing this with Brogan. They tried to make him a right tackle because the left side was there. They tried to find a home for him. He couldn't hack it. Hopefully, these guys can hack it. Right now, the early reports are everyone's being comfortable, moved around, and doing those things, and they're able to pick it up. And that was a bad thing with Broger. He couldn't pick it up. He was
another thing. You got to be able to. There might be hard things at your job because you make millions of dollars. Listen, if you have to go stand over there and block a guy opposed to over here, don't tell me I don't know how to do that. Listen, you know how to do that. You're an offensive lineman. If you have to go stand over there and block that guy, then go do it because you make millions of dollars. Believe me, I've done a lot more degrading in my life for a lot less money. Get the hell over there and block somebody. I like this team. I like the mindset. I like the coaching staff. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I'm just saying I'm liking what I'm seeing. The team's liking what they're seeing. The office is liking what they're seeing. I'm really excited, Mike. We're going to learn a lot about this football team.
Yeah, that's I always hated when Steelers fans why are we playing Broderick Jones at right tackle? He was a left tackle in college. Well, There's a reason why. He was better at being a run blocking right tackle. It was just, he just couldn't figure it out for some reason. His brain,
He's a dummy.
He couldn't figure out how to step, apparently.
Here's another thing.
We watch players all the time flip-flop positions on O-line. We watch elite tackles in college turn into elite guards at the NFL level. And this wasn't a new thing. It's just that guy couldn't figure it out for some odd reason.
And nobody expected him to be an all-pro. Bro, just be able to play your position. And if it doesn't work, we're going to try you somewhere else because that makes sense. That's just my opinion.
I thought he could have been an all-world right tackle.
I think he's a dummy.
That spark, that little window we saw in his rookie year, I thought he had, but I think he might just be a dumbass and he couldn't figure it out.
That is one thing that you got to remember.
He had talent. He had talent.
You got to remember, Mike, there's people that are just dumb. I'm not bad mouthing anybody as an individual. There's just dumb people. It's just that way. And you know what? Obviously, after 4 years, this dude don't have it. He's not going to get it. He's not going to pull it together. He's not going to get over this neck injury and come back and be the Steelers starting left. It's not going to happen. It's done. Writing on the wall. The dude's a dummy. He's got to go.
Gotta go.
All right, let's continue on. Mike, yesterday, Herbig and Queen, not in the portion of the open to the media. Of course, Nick Herbig and Queen, two players on the defensive side of the ball, Patrick Queen and Nick Herbig. Neither of them in the portion open to the media. And also, Mike, Benton and Washington, they were in attendance yesterday. I don't even know why this note is related to this particular comment, but Mike Herbig and Queen not making themselves available for the media portion of the OTAs yesterday. I'm sorry.
I wonder if that has something to do with their contract. I don't know. Do they not want to answer questions?
That's the very great point, Mike.
That's just what I'm thinking. They were trying to just I don't want to talk to the media about my contract that's coming up. And I wonder if that's what JPJ is doing as well. Because right now these aren't mandatory. The guys don't have to be there. So, but it's still a good sign that they're there. They're around the team. They're in the meetings. Yes, they're not doing anything out on the field. Which, as if I was in their position, if I don't have to go out there and practice right now, and I'm in a contract here, I might not go out and do it until I start getting assurances of what's going to happen with my contract. I kind of get where they're coming from, but as a fan, it's kind of frustrating. Let's get out there. There's a lot of new stuff going on, but as long as they're absorbing the shit in the classroom right now, a lot of these guys are proven that game day they'll be good to go.
Hey, listen, and I see right here. I mean, and I respect your opinion, Kenneth. Just further down on the board, Kenneth says he's not dumb, just doesn't use his technique. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we brought him here for. I mean, if you can't remotely even come close to what it is that we brought you here for, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Again, it just doesn't seem very likely he's going to get it all back together because he never really had it together. Small doses, he looked good, and we thought, okay, he's coming along. But at the end of the day, there's smart people, there's people that aren't, and he just doesn't come off as a smart guy to me. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, and I totally respect your opinion. Mike, also, that being said, of course, that is the natural thought. It was Herbig and Queen, Mike, they wouldn't talk to the media. But again, these are people that, again, Queen at the end of this year will certainly, he could very well be gone this time next year. Herbig with his contract talk also as well. So I could see Mike, and then also going back to JPJ, where he was there, participated by himself, but just didn't participate with the team. So those three players right off the top, you might be able to ask that question. And again, that's why I mentioned about Washington being on this list, because again, it says he was there. But he would also be another person that you could put in this conversation. So I don't know what that is regarding to.
Or it could be, real quick, if they were doing other work before the media got there, and then at that portion, hey, let's get some of the younger guys in there or some shit like that. You never know how the practice cycle's going.
You never know. You never know. John Anthony says dunk spot to lose, I think. You know what? It's interesting, and it's only the way that it is right now because it's so early. I think Dunk is going to take one of them spots for sure. Before we know it, let's jump over to the let's talk about Jeremy Bernard. Mike, Jeremy Bernard, of course, signed yesterday. We have all the drafted rookies signed except Drew Aller.
Dun dun dun.
Jeremy Bernard. So here's something interesting in regards to this. What I just read. If I could just find it here. Okay. Mike, so let's talk about just some of the stupidity amongst the quarterback talk that we've had. So I just kind of used the Aller factors that set me up here. Chris Sims, who I hate with all my guts,
Right.
with every fabric of my being. Chris Sims says, wouldn't be surprised if Steelers cut Aller this summer. So anyway, do you see how they literally don't have any fucking clue what's going on in national media? Literally none. They're not.
Says the guy who was fired by NBC.
I mean, a lot of people get fired for different. But the point being is, what? Drew Aller. Have you listened to any of the conversations at all regarding the Steelers? I mean, I think yes, Drew Aller is four man on the totem pole now. But again, this is day 2 of the OTAs.
Yeah,
I think that. Go ahead, Mike. He's your guy. Good at your conversation.
It's just like the team traded up for him to draft him in the 3rd round. Mike McCarthy apparently likes what he's seeing from him, and like what Sim said, like Will Howard or Drew Aller might get cut to because of the mistakes that they made in the quarterback room. They just traded up for the guy. They knew there was stuff to work on. McCarthy was excited to draft him and to work with him. They're not gonna cut him. Like it's just the dumbest take that I've seen regarding the Steelers quarterback situation, and I've seen a lot of dumb takes regarding our quarterback situation. Now that takes the cream up the top. That's the cherry on top. That is the dumbest take I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, the other day it was the other guy. It was Howard. Now it's the thing is you can't really listen to these people because there's no foundation to what's being said. What are they doing?
They're talking out of their ass is what they're doing, and it's frustrating because it's like you said. Do you pay attention to all the teams in the NFL, or you just go out there and just wildly make accusations and just come up with stupid talking points? Because that's what you're doing right now. You're literally all you got to do is read the local papers and read what the beat writers are saying. You get at least you get a pretty good sense of what's going on surrounding the team. And you know that they just drafted this guy in the 3rd round. They traded up for. They're not gonna cut him.
Tortilla says media gets their takes from Cody.
I give Cody a little bit more credit than that.
So again, Drew Aller, Will Howard, these are going to be names that we hear about moving forward. Right now, again in the OTAs, the quarterback room looks as such, guys. Quarterback 1, Aaron Rodgers. Quarterback 2, Will Howard. Quarterback 3, Mason Rudolph. Quarterback 4, Drew Aller. Will certainly we went on to say Pittsburgh and didn't know that Aaron Rodgers would return. Bullshit. Is there anything, Mike? I can't even take it anymore. So the Steelers didn't have a bit of anxiety. Things is going good. Our locker room is nothing but a bunch of rookies, second-year guys. We're going to walk around and say things are going good. And you had no idea if he was going to have a starting quarterback. Adam Schefter, Mike, reports this. He says, quote, he had not informed them. I call bullshit. Even the official news from somebody like Adam Schefter, Mike, there's no way that there was no – they didn't know. You're crazy. I'll never believe it. Never.
Yeah, like we've been saying all season, every time anyone from the Steelers or Aaron Rodgers was being interviewed, it was, we're in communication. We're talking to his agent. We're talking to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's like, yeah, my agent's talking to him, or I'm talking to him. We're keeping everyone in the loop as to what's going on. Now, if you can say they didn't know 100%, there's probably, you have to account for everything in life that nothing is 100% guarantee. But as much as a guarantee that you can have, the way they were operating, it was Aaron Rodgers is our guy. Or if he's not, we're going to rock with Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and a rookie to be named later. Like, that's what we've been saying all along was the plan. And the way they were operating, how could you come to a conclusion that it was not one of those scenarios? And the most likely scenario being, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to come back when I want to come back. I'm going to sign when I want to sign. And they're probably like, okay, but we would prefer it if it was sooner rather than later. But even when he didn't meet the artificial deadlines that Art made, no one on the team panicked. In the front office, no one panicked. whatsoever.
And like,
So
the
it just
players
tells me
were just so casual. The players like, oh, Aaron, he'll let us know when he lets us know. Oh, Aaron, it was just such a casual atmosphere.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe. But let me finish the second part of this. That was Adam Schefter, who they're saying some funny things on the board. I do want to say they are talking about Chef, but I do want to say, Mike, this was said by Sports Illustrated. This was written in Sports Illustrated. Mike, Aaron Rodgers was more communicative this year than last.
So which is it, media?
What is exactly?
Which is it?
So these are prime examples of why these things are terrible. You can't rely on this for your information. You can't.
And this is like
this is why Tater thinks he knows a lot. He go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is why like Vanilla Thunder was responding to people on Twitter last night, going, "This is why you cannot trust the typical media." Sports media anymore. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. They're afraid to take an actual stand and say what they believe. They're just going to mention bullshit to get clicks and everything. This is why YouTube is taking over. This is why people like us are more, I wouldn't say more reliable than the national media and even the local media. Because we're not just going to go out there and say random shit. We're going to sit here and analyze the information. Yeah, we'll give our opinion on it, but we'll also try to keep it, within the realm of actual probability and possibility and realism that it's going to happen. Like, we could come out here every day and say stupid shit just like them, but why do that? Why lie to people?
And I'm going to prove my point right here. I candidly said this is why Derpy doesn't know anything, or I'm sorry, Tater doesn't know anything. This is a good example, and he helped me. He proved my point with something he just wrote, Mike. He wrote, Grandpa was waiting on the cards. There you go. There is a perfect example of something somebody read in national media. It was not true. He was not waiting from the Cardinals. He was not waiting to hear from the Cardinals. That has been proven to be not true.
Yeah.
So, again, this is what happens when you listen to national media. Again, I think the best thing that Tater does is come to this show, to be honest with you, because, again, at the end of the day, look at his arguments. Again, it's somebody that's overseas, somebody who doesn't have the firsthand information as we do. And for him to come in here and say these dumb things, which, again, I expect because he's a Browns fan. He's not that smart. I get that. But at the end of the day, this is the stuff that he believes because this is the stuff that they're putting out there. One more time, I'm just going to say it. Grandpa was waiting on the cards, which it was a very popular theory. And people were saying that, yes, but Tater doesn't know the difference. He don't know the difference from what the national media does and what local people that actually know what they're doing, what they're talking about does. Because, again, Mike, that was his latest argument. Obviously, that wasn't true, and he's still, at this point, making that argument. That is my point I was trying to make.
Yeah, and, anyone with any, two brain cells to rub together knew that Cardinals story was BS. All you had to do was, look at their roster and go, why would he want to go there? Why would he want to go to a team that is not even close to contending for a division title? The Steelers are, we won the division title last year. If he wants to win at the end of his career and play well and be successful at the end of his career, the logical choice was come back to the Steelers or, you know what? Hey, I had a good run. I'm hanging it up. I'll see you in camp.
Hold on. Mike, let me stop you. He says this. This is, again, why, Tater, you don't know. This wasn't what happened. You're wrong. Tater says this. He says, Grandpa was waiting on an offer from any Grandpa was waiting on an offer, any offer. Fact. That's not a fact. That's 100% wrong. You literally have no clue what you're talking about. You're taking a story again that somebody ran with to get clicks and attention, and this is what you're arguing. And I can't argue because it's false. They agreed quite some time ago, as Tyrone is saying. So again, I don't blame you. And I do think that who said it? Somber says Tater's a smarter football fan by being here. And I think Tater knows that. That's why Tater keeps coming back. Could you imagine learning your football from a bunch of Cleveland Browns fans? Could you imagine? You would leave dumber than you went in.
Yeah.
So there you go. Anyway, let's continue on, Mike. A lot of stuff to talk about. The offensive coordinator, of course, Mike. We have all new coaches, all new assistant coaches. Offensive coordinator for the Steelers excited to push the envelope with Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. Listen, why am I excited? Why did last year Arthur Smith saying we're going to get all these tight ends, we're going to make things happen? why wasn't that excited as I am now, Mike? There's a vibe, good vibes this year. You just have a feeling that you might get a different result this year, and I think Steeler fans in general feel that. Mike, with the offensive coordinator saying he's excited to push the envelope with Muth and Washington. Mike, that's just my tight ends. I can't wait to see what he has in store for my running backs. And my come on, the anticipation is going to be high this year for the Steelers. High.
Like I can't wait till preseason game. Yeah, it's going to be vanilla offenses. They're not going to scheme a whole lot of stuff, but you can get a sense of what it's going to be, what their philosophy is going to be, and just look for the middle of the field to be attacked a lot this year.
Oh, and how great this is going to be! How great this is going to be! Does he catch us over the middle? Does he catch us? Oh.
Like, because getting the DK Metcalf, like we've talked a lot on the show, people think he's a deep threat. No, you get the ball in his hand and you let him go. We saw that last year. There are glimpses of it where a quick slant, and you just watch him gain 30, 40, 50 yards. Sometimes, to take it to the house on some of those plays. Get him the ball in his hands quick. Same thing with your tight ends. Get them the ball. Just, 7 yards here, 5 yards here, 4 yards here, 8 yards there. And then next thing you know, you're hitting players over the top because safeties are coming down. And we've seen it all the time. You get those crossing routes going across the middle, defenders run into each other.
Why does it work so good for everybody else?
Yeah.
Why? This is what I'm waiting for, Mike. Yeah. Crossing passes, come on.
Yeah, because we haven't done that since Ben's elbow blew up. How many times would you see Heath across the middle, Lev Bell doing a little circle route across the middle?
We were like other receivers in that era, and that's what's frustrating.
We did it for a long time, then we stopped, all because we were afraid of these young quarterbacks or old quarterbacks who couldn't throw across the middle. Let's get back to that because it works. It works. Yeah, you might have a few more interceptions here or there, but if your defense is as good as you think it is, they're going to, limit the amount of points coming back, and then your offense can go back out there and just play, not have to worry about making mistakes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Wow. Can you tell I'm excited in my face? But I really am. I really am.
I can hear something thumping off your table there.
Well, I'm just ugly. I always look stupid, but I'm excited. I get to some of these messages on the board, Mike. I think that they're very interesting. I don't want to miss a couple of these in regards to Tater. Actually, Tater says this, Mike, and I respect this. Listen, Tater, I don't not respect you. I do. You're fun. Again, you could be a lot worse, and we could have thrown you out of here, and that's not the case. You're actually an enjoyable person. Tater says, I come here because of debates, and he's always a good sport, so I do give him that. But let's get to what people were saying, Mike. John Anthony's saying, Tater, the master debater. Tater, the master debater. Let's grab a couple more. I think I saw here. I think even Joey says, more like the master baiter. The master baiter. And Mike, one more I seen up here. I think I passed a little bit ago. Somebody says this. Tortilla says, are you smarter than a fifth tater? I like it. I like it. It was implied, John Anthony, of course. Robert, I do want to say what's up as well. Stone head coach didn't believe in throwing it over the middle. Of course, guys, this hopefully is something that we could use to our offense and use to our advantage. And again, just not be so predictable. Again, I don't want to badmouth anybody, but come on, let's move forward with this team. Let's get back to doing the things that we got to do. Let's do that, please, by all means, and we're going to give ourselves the better chance to win in January. I'm leaving it right there. Nothing said about anybody in the past. Nothing. It's all about right now, all about this year, all about moving forward, all about getting that playoff win in January, all about improving, all about getting these rookies up to speed so they can get out there and be productive. Like Jeremy Bernard, I can't wait to watch him. Jennings Dunker, I cannot wait for this guy to be on the field. And then some of the later round guys, I can't wait to see these guys play either because, again, there's a chance you make this team. So a lot of great things coming up, guys, as we are just 12 days away from ending May. 12 days away from ending May, Mike. It'll be June. And in June, we say camp next month. Believe it or not, the Steelers haven't played since mid-January. And here we are going into June. We thank everybody for being here this whole time. It was been a ride. I can't wait. We're all going to get back into it together whenever the time comes. So there we go. Aaron Rodgers, Mike, he had not informed the Steelers. Sports Illustrated saying he was communicating better than he did last year. So do what you want with that. You keep coming here, Derpy. We'll take care of you. We even take care of the unfortunate, obviously. Let's go to what I want to do. Mike, I just want to talk about here real quick. Just the vibes at this camp, at the OTAs. Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy, people trying to kick dust up over the past couple of weeks. They had all these problems. Aaron Rodgers called him the ugliest person that ever lived. All these issues they had. Mike, so far the vibe's good. And if that's the mindset these guys could turn and go into the season, say, we have one season. Let's say we do have some issues with one another. But let's go in and do this one thing right now. You have a fresh slate in front of you. Let's go out and try to do the best we can and make something of this. I think both of these gentlemen benefit from this, Mike. Again, yeah. Aaron riding off into the sunset, even as a Packer, I think this is beneficial for his career. You didn't want him to finish his career as he did with the Jets. Finishing off with a great season, I think really benefits him. And also, again, Mike McCarthy, who's here in year one of his coaching, you do well, do better than we have, improve. And you know what? People are going to love you and look forward to moving forward with you and seeing what you got next year, so on and so forth. Mike, the vibes so far, again, I didn't expect them to eat each other's throats on day one, but Mike, it's been a nice vibe overall, top to bottom. But talk about Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, if you would.
Yeah, I think both these guys want to. If this is Aaron's last year, they want it both to go out on a good note. They both want to win. Yes, they both have egos, but they're both prideful. And you both want to do what's best. You're going to have opinions of what is the best way to do things. But you think by now they're both mature enough to realize, okay, there's certain things we got to set aside to go out and achieve and have the success we want to. And I think they're both at that point in their lives, in their careers, they can do that. Are there going to be dust-ups? Yes, you see that all the time. Like I said yesterday, excuse me, players and coaches yell at each other on the sidelines. Guess what? It's because they both want to win.
Absolutely.
And they want to get the best out of it, and then they're going to find a way to do it. I have confidence that it will work this year. They both want to win. McCarthy's, the hometown kid's not going to want to come in here and lay an egg. Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to lay an egg either. He knows how he looked in the last playoff game that he was in. Wasn't his best performance. Do you think he wants that to be the lasting memory? You think he wants his lasting legacy to be, I came to Pittsburgh and failed and looked miserable for 2 years? No, he wants to go out successful. Now, he might not win the Super Bowl, but if you go out and you play well in playoff games, win a game, and you lose that second one, but you play well, he can walk off the field head held high, go retire a Packer, and we'll see him again 5 years in camp. And that's probably how he wants his career to end. If he can't get a Super Bowl, at least go out playing to the best of my ability.
Squeege in the house. What's up, dude? I haven't seen Squeege for a while. Great to see you back on the terrible board. Squeege, it is on like Donkey Kong, baby. It's all Steelers all the time. Mike, let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball where championships are won for the most part. Let's talk about some things over there, Mike. They had the number one set in the safety set, Mike. The number one group yesterday was Brisker with Elliott as the safeties on the team this year, Mike. You had Joey Porter Jr., you had over on the other side some Jamel Dean, a little Asante Samuel underneath, in these two safeties in the middle, Mike. I gotta like what the secondary's done this offseason. Again, by extending Asante, by bringing in Dean, by again bringing in Brisker, Mike Brisker and Deshaun Elliott. How do you like this team, this grouping back in the safety department?
I like it. I like it a lot. Hopefully, Deshaun Elliott can come back 100% healthy, ready to go. Brisker can ball hawk a little. He can also play strong safety. Same thing with Elliott.
He's a Penn State guy.
He's a Penn State guy, so that's number one in my book. I really liked him when he was coming out of college.
Yeah.
Like when the Bears grabbed him, like fuck, he went to that shitty ass team, but he played well there. I like this. Like you throw in Jalen Ramsey as well. With all these guys, this is a really, really good secondary, and you got a lot of young guys too, with Porter, with Brisker, with Asante Samuel Jr. He's still a young guy as well, NFL, and then you got the experience with Jamel Dean, Jalen Ramsey, and Jamel Dean was still playing at a high level.
Mike,
he has the best QBR against last year.
Number one.
Number one. And then Porter was like fourth or third or something.
Porter's
like
three. Jamel Dean, Mike, 47.7, which is number one. That is
Yeah.
the lowest by a cornerback allowing, or at least with a minimum of 140 coverage
Yeah.
snaps. Mike, Jamel Dean, I'm sorry, 47.7. Joey Porter Jr., 55.9, coming in number three in that category.
Yeah, so like this is a really good group. And then you're getting some coaches. So there's some pretty good secondary coaches in here as well. I do think it kind of sucks a little bit. We lost two. I forget who our cornerback coach was last year, but he really elevated the game of Pierre and Porter late in the season. Those guys were getting better as the season went on. I think that might set us back a little bit, but I think there's a good foundation there with a lot of these guys on this defense. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with the young rookie. I want to see what Dylan Everett can do.
Yeah,
or Dalen Everett,
absolutely.
what he can do. I was really high on him. We got him. I think that's a good piece there. And with the new schemes and the simplifications of like the communication it's in, like that Graham's putting in there, I have high expectations for this entire defense. But this secondary, I want to see some big time splash plays, man. I want to see picks galore, and I think they have it. Maybe Porter can get 2 interceptions this year.
You know what? That'd be fantastic, Mike.
or 3. Or 3 would be nice.
Talking about this defense, Mike, the one quoted term used in the Steeler organization, Mike, super impressed. Players quickly buy into the new defensive coordinator's vision. Mike, if this defense could turn around, and listen, they weren't the worst defense. I mean, obviously left a lot to be desired. They certainly weren't the best defense. If they could close up some of them gaps and things that happened on defense last year just by changing the scheme around under Coach Graham, again, how could you not be excited? How could you not be excited, Mike, about everything that's going on with this squad? Again, you got new players, you got rookies, you got free agents, you have a whole new team, basically, in a sense. And again, a defensive coordinator with his own philosophy coming in and changing things. An offensive coordinator and the offensive-minded head coach coming in with their philosophy, changing things. There's a lot going on, Mike. Everybody's sold on Patrick Graham. Again, he was the defensive coordinator on the 32nd best team last year. That's been my concern all off season. You know this. But at the end of the day, Mike, the vibes are good. They're buying into what he's saying. And that doesn't guarantee he's going to stink. The fact that he was the Raiders defensive coordinator last year, I can't wait to see what Patrick Graham brings to the table. Because if he's good, you know what? You probably weren't going to do well in Las Vegas anyway, because the Raiders, again, with everything else, Mike, landed them at 32nd overall. I want to see what Patrick Graham brings to the table. I am one for getting this defense having different looks for once again in a long time. The changes, I think, which should be exciting Steeler fans the most, the opportunity to change things now, where that wasn't the case for some time. I'm so excited about this defense, Mike. Patrick Graham.
Yeah, like we were 17th in scoring last year, giving up like 23 points per game. That's 17th in the league. If we can get that down into the top 10, that's bare minimum. We should be top 10 for the amount of money we're spending there. And then like we were giving up 360 yards per game last year. That was 28th in the NFL. Coming over from Vegas, they only gave up 317 yards a game. That was good for 13th. If he can do that with the talent that he had in Vegas compared to the talent we have in Pittsburgh, yards per game, we should easily be well within the top 10. Yeah. And eliminating yards just by we have better players at all 3 levels on defense and better players, multiple better players on our D-line, linebacker, core, and secondary than when he had in LA. So I'm at least yardage wise, we got to be well within the top 10, like top 5 to 7 if we're there. And that's going to make our scoring defense even better. So if his scheme is really the answer, I'm all for it. I hope that can be the case because, like I said, everywhere he's coached, they've had some.
Oh, something happened to Mike again. I hear him back.
Yeah. Damn, I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back, and I brought more people with me.
All right.
But no, like Patrick Graham's defenses, they usually outperform their from what they're paid. So we're like the highest or second highest paid. We should be theoretically one of the best defenses in the league.
All right, Mike. Also, I'm gonna just make one more talk about say one more thing, and then we're gonna get on the board for the duration. A lot of interesting, a lot of informative, a lot of messages coming across the terrible board. I can't wait to get back at it with the board, Mike. Finally, that was mentioned yesterday on the show. Yes, the Steelers did sign Pitts, Tamem Lineham. Also, Mike, whether he'll make the team, whether he don't. There's a lot of Panthers, Nittany Lions, a lot of people at the OTAs, Mike, always pulling for our Pennsylvania guys. No two ways about that. Let's get back to the board, everybody. Welcome to the show. I've seen amazing messages along the way. So just a moment till I could kind of sort of get in the right ballpark, because again, I'm obviously not going to be able to catch up on the messages today. So I'm going to do what I can. And I do apologize, but I will, of course, read every message on this board. Let's go here to... I'm going to go all the way back here to Steel Loyal, just because it's funny. He doesn't suck. Laugh my ass off. He's just average. Cody, you suck. That is what Steel Loyal. I thought no better place to start than there. Let's go back here to Ty. My man Ty says this. Facts, Mike, what I said. Give me my money first. John Anthony says Jones is a utility guy. Plus that dude plays hurt constantly. Most do, but Jones is plagued by injury. Broad brain is what Tortilla called him. Somber says, so if Dunk is going to be behind McCormick and not Anderson, who wins that? Mike?
Right now they're flip-flopping everyone around, so I don't know if Dunker's really going to be behind McCormick or not. At least today he was playing left side. The day before he was playing right. I think right now McCormick beats out Dunker if those two are in a head-to-head competition, but I have a feeling Dunker and Spencer Anderson are going to be fighting for that right guard spot.
I agree. Steel Loyal says I think they're going to try Dunker on both sides. It's still early. John Anthony said Dunk's spot to lose, I think. Cody says this. He's the Broderick Jones of right guard. Lucky he had Frazier and Troy next to him. Wait till it's Max's dude. Going to get beat every play. Tyrone says this. He says that Bernard is the GOAT. Steel Loyal says comparing McCormick to Broderick Jones is a choice. LOL. Truly hope that rage bait and not how you actually feel. LOL. Let's go on to Somber. Somber says this. I just don't see the moving Mason to the left guard spot to appease Troy, only to put Dunker there. RG just makes more sense unless Dunk is just that much better. Let's go here. Lindsay says this. She says, I'm sorry, Mark Malone says McCormick will be left guard from game 1 this year. Lindsay says idiots would try. Why would they trade him? They just drafted him. Of course, going back to the Drew Aller comment, Mike. Drew Aller was being said to. Let me find Chris Sims.
Yeah,
Chris Sims. Somebody that everyone turns on their TV and sees and takes as facts and information. Mike. Chris Sims says wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers cut Drew Aller this summer.
That's. I wish I can, be on the national media, make stupid claims like that.
These people get paid so much money. They get paid much money to be wrong. It's insane. Let's go here to John Anthony. He says, could have used that 76 pick to move up for Lemon. Man, I wish they did. Let's go to Cody. Cody says where he will continue to be to get beat. Probably Broderick, I'm going to guess on that comment. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. He says this. He says, I wasn't high on picking Bro Jones in the first place, especially in the first round. Didn't they even move up to pick him? And he's doing nothing. I think a couple spots, didn't they?
Yeah, they moved up 3 or 4 spots to grab him, I think.
Again, and he was very limited at Georgia, if I'm remembering right. Like he didn't have all the games under his belt either.
But he played a handful of games, like his second to last year in college, and then his last year he started every game at left tackle, and he was a raw prospect. But a lot of organizations were high on him just because of that limited time that you saw.
Well, they were all wrong.
Looked good.
They were all wrong.
And then
they were all wrong.
They were all wrong.
All these organizations, they read it wrong because again, I haven't seen it in the guy, and again, it's time to move on. At least with Corey Trice, the guy was productive. He just couldn't stay healthy. I would love to have Corey Trice on this team.
Yep.
I would like to see Broderick Jones down the road. I mean, it's like the polar opposite with these two guys. Let's go right here to Somber. Time will tell. Tyrone's a stupid take. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Chris Sims seems to be doing more of those than usual anymore. Let's go to Mark Malone. Nah, Frazier and Fatano will keep McCormick safe again. Somber says that's the gamble you take when drafting raw, unknown quantities. Also, Tortilla Jackson in the house saying that media gets their takes from Cody. Cody says, you hear that, Tortilla? Wrong. Oh, stupid take. Tyrone says, still loyal. Still loyal says something. It zoomed past me. Let's go right here. Still loyal says, Adam Schefter don't know shit about A-Rod. A-Rod hates him. He purposely avoids him. Ty says, clickbait. Also, Somber says, everything I'm hearing is what is that Will and Mason are splitting quarterback 2 reps, which is what should be done, in my opinion. If you're going to put Will Howard at number 2, you have to get number 2 reps with Mason Rudolph as well. You have to. You have to. Because at the end of the day, Mike, let's say Aaron Rodgers does go down. Let's say he snaps his Achilles again. Well, now you're in a position because, yes, Mason is more, what's the word I'm looking for? More seasoned, I guess you would say. But at the end of the day, you know the writing on the wall and where we're going forward. So I think both of those guys have to get second team reps, Mike, because especially if it happens early. Let's say Aaron gets injured early. You're going to be going right to Mason Rudolph. Next, you're going to be figuring out what you could do with the kids. But at the end of the day, I think that's most necessary. Get them both quarterback 2 reps. Let's scoot a little bit further down here to John Anthony. John Anthony says this: Broderick Jones is a offensive line dynamo. No matter what, Tomlin played the mix and match game for the offensive line. A lot of moving offensive linemen around. Broderick is the jack of all trades. Interesting take. Mark Malone is saying Adam Shyster is a douche. Adam Shyster is a douche. Tortilla says Adam Shaftburn. Adam Shaftburn. Somber says this: that'll be the only quarterback camp battle. Probably this year. You're probably right. Tater says Grandpa. Yeah, that was not even remotely true. Let's continue. Tyrone says Aller will be quarterback 3. Howard Mason battle for yes. That's the way I see it, and that's the way it should be right now. Right now, OTAs game 2, May 19. I think that's safe. Let's go to here. Somber says yup. Tyrone says Tater. Tater, you're paying your quarterback $94 million. The guy hasn't played in 5 years.
Right.
You want to talk about a dumb organization? The Browns, they just prove them. They prove themselves every year, Mike. They just prove
how bad they are.
It's incredible. Let's go to John Anthony. Jones lined up as tight end, tackle, guard. Only place he hasn't taken snaps, I think, is center. Yeah, but can he do any of them well? That's my problem. I could play 11 positions. Don't mean that I'll be any good. Tortilla says, let's ask Tater how last year went. Remember they were supposed to finish ahead of us? That was the big.
They were we were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, and again, we were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NFL according to the national media.
Joe, you said Jones, but meant Anderson. LOL. If it was me, I apologize. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says this: no, if you want. Again, lost my board. I don't know what's going on with that. Very, very odd, Mike. I don't know.
It's. I don't know what's going on. I'm blaming the heat.
And you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's the heat, but it just again. Let me continue. I think I'm in the right ballpark. Maybe not. Here we go. I'm close enough. I know that I'm in town. If I look around long enough, I could find where my location. Let's go here. I'm just jumping in right here. Mark Malone says this: no damn way. Tater is actually a Browns fan from Ireland. LOL, Mike. That's at 14 minutes. 15:43. Yinzer Joe says Tater doesn't know what a good roster is. He's basing it off exactly. Thing is, he knows what a good draft is. They've drafted every good player since 1994.
Numerous first-round picks. You'd think they would have won a Super Bowl by now, or a division, or a conference title. Been to a Super Bowl at least.
They never even been there. Steel Loyal says the Cardinals roster looks like a gold mine to Tater. He doesn't know what a good roster looks like. Scoot down a little bit right here. John, my man, John Anthony, strong on the board today. I want to say thank you, man. You're kicking ass on the board. He says this Browns fans should listen more often. That's the thing. They don't listen. It goes back to that little brother mentality. The pain in the ass little brother. Mm-hmm. They won't listen for shit. Yeah, he'll continue to fight. He will not listen to the big brother. We could so help this terrible franchise, Mike, but they continue to think that they're something, and it's just insane. These Browns, they have that little brother mentality, and that's what I talked about, Mike, when I talked about the AFC North. They're almost like the little pain in the ass brother, those Cleveland Browns.
Classic little brother syndrome.
It is. It's classic little brother syndrome. Browns should listen more often. They do a shit ton of talk. There you go. Shit ton of talking. They haven't seen a championship football since Cleveland, and Cleveland since LBJ was in office, for F's sakes. And you got to remember those early championships. They had like 8 teams in that league. 8 teams. So if you want to count the Browns championships, go ahead. Good luck. Have fun.
And it's not even the NFL.
And it wasn't even
true NFL. It was before the merger.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even teams that were worthy of saying that you beat. All right, let me, for an example. I'm going to give you an example, and this is going to prove my point. Let's say the Birmingham Stallions one day join the NFL. Let's say the UFL gets big, and one day they petition to become in the NFL, and the NFL takes them. Birmingham's not going to be able to include their championships in the UFL when it comes time to talking about the best teams ever, the best teams in the league, the best teams in Super Bowl era. They're just not. Why would Cleveland be able to do that? It wasn't the NFL. It wasn't the Super Bowl era. The fact that they even bring this up is just another pathetic Cleveland Brown attempt to seem at all relevant. Again, you're not going to take the Birmingham Stallions, put them in the NFL, and say, well, you know what? They have as many championships as the Giants do, with 4 or whatever they have at this point. That's the point, Mike. The Browns argument is the dumbest thing ever. And again, if you don't think that it is, just use that as example and go ahead and add the Birmingham Stallions to the Super Bowl count when you do that. Again, doesn't even make sense. There you go. Let's continue. I see Somber. I see rain. Somber says this Pittman and A-Rod had a throwing session that nobody knew about. Not a single insider knew about it. Somber says they knew he was coming. Absolutely, they knew he was coming back. You got to be out of your mind. Out of your mind. Chef, he had not informed them, Mike, he says. They didn't know he was going to return.
Mm-hmm. It just left in the dark. They were, only in constant communication. Anytime anyone was interviewed, yeah, we're talking to him. We're talking to him. Yeah, I'm talking to them.
Just messing around.
Yeah, our agents communicate with the front office. And Steelers were left in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, because why would they be included in any of this information?
I was born in the morning, but I wasn't born yesterday morning, Shefty, okay? Yeah, I know I play an idiot on here, but I'm really not that dumb in real life. It's not that hard to read and, put things in chronological order and think clearly of how the situation is going down. You just take everything at face value. Don't look for, this person has an agenda, this team has an agenda. You just read what they are saying and put it all out there and look at the situation, look at the landscape of the NFL. Everything was saying he was coming back. The Steelers know he's going to come back at some point. It's just when. What's it going to be? Mandatory OTAs, this part of OTAs, or was it going to be training camp? Those were the 3 big days.
And I got to be honest with you, the way that it went down doesn't surprise me at all, Mike, being the day before OTA. Okay.
That's what he signed last year.
It all makes sense. So at the end of the day, everything else is a bunch of hooey. A bunch of hooey, if you will. Just a good reason to use the word hooey. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, really just trying to learn any kind of football in Ohio. I agree. Tater, he comes here for the debates. And, and for that reason, I guess we have to treat him like a human, even if he's a Browns fan. But there you go. We hate it. Tyrone says, I'm glad A-Rod is there earlier, too, to get connections with the team and wide receivers. I agree. Not even to be debatable, not even trying to prove a point. I agree. I'm glad the way things are right now. I'm happy right now with what's still going on in Steelerville. Believe me, right now, again, May 19, I'm thrilled, Mike, and I can't wait to see these next steps play out for our Steelers.
Yeah, me too. It's change is fun and exciting.
Absolutely.
We're ready to see how everything plays out.
Absolutely. John Anthony, Tater the Master. Okay, let's go. We'll move beyond the Tater Masturbator comments, which they are all classics. And I'm going to probably give all the Tater Masturbator comments game balls today. Let's go here to Ty. It's we have wide receiver core since 3 years. Still loyal. I just devoured some soup. There you go. Still loyal. John Anthony says the toy movie with Richard Pryor and Master Bates. I got to give John Anthony some love today. You know what? I'm giving John Anthony the game ball.
There you go.
He's just such a strong day today. Game ball, John Anthony, great job. On the terrible board, he also says, Lord, I'm old. Tyrone, he says, Derpy was in the chat saying 8 and 9. Derpy was in the chat saying 8 and 9.
Derpy.
Tyrone last night, always negative. Let's scoot along. Robert Kirkpatrick, my man, always great seeing you as well on a terrible board. Robert says this: if you're not completely excited about what's going on, check yourself for a fight. Right? This is as exciting as an offseason as the Steelers had possibly in my life. I mean, for one, we've had very little turnover as far as coaches. I did get to experience 2 of them before, and a lot of people did as well.
Yeah.
And some people maybe even more than that. But, Mike, throw the draft in Pittsburgh in that mix. Come on, how could this not be one of the biggest off seasons ever in Steeler history, man? And gotta love it every moment of the way. And again, we'll be here all the way through next forever, but through February, Mike, is hopefully our team can pull it and get into that game. Let's continue to move forward here. Let's go to there's Lindsay Squeege. Always great seeing the Squeege. Lindsay says I can see AR pushing it to 4. Oh my God, I just want to take I want to take a pen and just gouge my eyes out after seeing that comment. Thank you for ruining my day, Lindsay. Not really,
pushing,
but
pushing 45 TDs.
No, pushing it to 45 years old.
Oh!
Can you imagine if we have to do this every year for the next 3 years with this
Let's
Aaron
do
Rodgers?
it. Oh, let's keep running it back.
My God, how
I'm down for it, baby.
At this point,
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Again, you didn't ruin my day, but that was as close as it could have got. Can you imagine going through this for the next 3 off seasons with Aaron? But Squeege, always great seeing you, my friend. He says, here's a good question, Mike, and I wanted to take a minute to answer this. At least let you answer it. Squeege asks this: who do you think will be someone who rises up this year? And I think this is a really interesting question because there's certainly people, Mike, that should have been rising up in the past and they didn't. There's maybe some people that didn't get opportunities for whatever reason, Mike, and then also a bunch of new players on this team and old. Who's somebody that you could see really rising up this year? I think that anything would be a step up for Roman Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's an easy one to say. I'm going to go out at someone who's entering year 4, a make-or-break contract year for him.
I know you're going to
If they move him to the outside on the D-line, Keanu Benton.
Yes.
I can see him rising up because what some of his film, he has some really good pass rush moves, but he's undersized and they play him on the inside. And if this new coaching staff, if they kick him out to play either behind Harmon or behind Cam when they rotate in and out, I think he would be so much better utilized there. Now, we're going to be playing a lot of sub packages. I saw Graham said they're going to be running out 5 DBs, so he might be limited where they use him, but if they let him play on the end a little bit, I think he can have a breakout year. Not like he's going to have like 7 to 8 sacks, but someone who you're going to be like, oh my God, this guy's going to, you're going to notice him wrecking games more. Because I last year in the coaching staff wanted him to work on finishing plays because he gets to the backfield quick.
I know he has a hard time finishing
because they tried last year to instill that into him and work on him finishing. Maybe this coaching staff can just see something a little bit different. Like, hey, this is how we're going to teach you how to finish these plays, and they can unlock that. If they can unlock that, I think this kid's going to have a stellar year. So he's one I'm thinking.
Are you suggesting that he's going to be a stellar stiller?
Well, I didn't want to go that route, but
All
we'll
right.
go stiller. We'll go with the alliteration. I like it.
All right.
I don't know. That might be too many S's in a row for Mark Malone. He might be getting his nipples might be getting hard when he heard the SS.
Just
saying.
My big riser is this. This is my big riser this year. I think Patrick Queen's going to step it up. I think Patrick Queen in a different defense is going to be fine. I think Patrick Queen, again, you're reading these articles yesterday where Peyton Wilson's kind of, he's talking about how things were. And, of course, I see later on down the path here in the messages about Darius Slay's comments on the defense, just different things on the defense. And then also maybe Patrick Queen being involved in things that he didn't do in the past on the Ravens defense when he was selected to the Pro Bowl. So, again, Mike, I'm going to go on the same side of the ball with you. I'm going to go on the defense. And you know what? These two players that we named, I don't know if it's more hopeful or who I think is actually going to rise the most, but those two people, Mike, in the middle of that defense, the mouth of the run defense, those two, maybe because it's wishful thinking and we know that they just have to be better in the middle on defense. But, Mike, I'm sticking on defense too. I'm going to say Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen will be the big improvement this year. And, again, I think that's more because it's something that I hope happens opposed to something that I truly believe deep down in my heart, Mike. I think as far as people I believe in, I think Pat Freiermuth's going to have a big year. Mm-hmm. I think Pat Freiermuth will have the big year on offense, the big rise compared to last year because, again, not many opportunities under different coach, different system, different offense. Passing offense, Mike, again, not every pass is just going 3 yards. It's going to have rhyme and reason. Yeah. So for that reason, my two guys, Patrick Queen on defense, because I want him to, Pat Freiermuth by default, I think just because he's going to be more involved, I think he's going to go up pretty good. Yeah,
we're going to see him have that production we saw the first 2 years of his career.
And you know what? And Tyrone makes a great point. And here's the thing: a lot of people say, "Well, Patrick Queen, he's good." Well, you know what? He is ish. He is kind of goodish. But at the end of the day, Tyrone nailed it on the head. He led the league in missed tackles. You can't fight that. You can't deny that. There's no argument for him when you say that he led the league in missed tackles.
Yeah. Like he's got to clean that shit up. That's what's frustrating. Like, and hopefully, if Benton steps up, I think YA Black is going to make a jump from year one to year two.
Like, if he could become a dominant defensive lineman, boy, would that be great with his size.
Because if both those guys can fight for more playing time, you can keep Cam and Harmon fresher.
How much
it help keeping pressure off your linebackers? It's going to work hand in hand.
Let me ask you this: how much more time do you realistically see 97 being on our active roster?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, he was productive last year.
He was. I know. I seen him chase. Listen, I seen him chasing Derrick Henry down a sideline for 30 yards on one particular play.
That was the best game I ever saw him play. Game against Baltimore was the best game I ever saw him play. Too bad he didn't follow it up with the playoffs. Yeah. That's my big thing with Cam. But if I think the performances are too spread out, where he has games where he wows you and games where he just disappears. If Harmon, Benton, and YA Black can all step up to make him a more of a rotational player, I think he could play another year after this year if he's just a rotational player. He has to become that at some point if he wants to keep playing. He has to be willing to take a step back, but it's going to be incumbent on Black and Benton to push him into that role, because otherwise he's outperforming those guys at this point. But his best games, his good games are becoming more and more spread out.
I'm seeing a good one just popped up. Dude said DK. I'm like, now that's going to be
another. Yep.
Last year it was him and nothing else. So DK could certainly rise up to what we expected from him initially. And again, he didn't have a bad year, but now you give him more opportunity because other players are on the field. So throw up some answers, guys, whoever you think. Maybe somebody different, somebody we're not thinking of. Tortilla, he says Patrick Queen should try out at running back. At least he won't have to tackle anybody. I do know also, Mike, that Broderick Jones he tackled Aaron Rodgers, right? Broderick. I could see Broderick Jones. He has a tackle. Yet Patrick Queen has led the league in missed tackles. So come on, maybe have Broderick Jones working with Patrick Queen over on the defense, teaching him how to tackle. Mike, at least he could bring down a quarterback. We know this. We know this about Broderick, right?
Hey, Broderick, that was a great tackle he had on Aaron Rodgers.
Remember how pissed off Aaron was? That was great.
I know, right?
He was all red-faced.
It's like when your kid tackles you. Like, I'm an old man. I tackle you. You don't tackle me. He did. He had that dad look in his eyes.
Oh, I loved it. I wish he would do it
Like
again.
Rojo was not getting his dessert that day. Tablet
Funny.
time gone.
Funny. Let's go to Christophus, my man. I just had to skip over everybody because I haven't seen Chris in a few days. Christophus, sir, how are you doing, my brother? Always great seeing you here. Always great seeing you on a terrible board. Chris says this: the South Side is lit, baby. That's right. Rookies look great. They are all actually installing plays. We are ahead of the curve. I love it. Chris, aren't you just so? Isn't it exciting? I mean, yes, we have a 43-year-old quarterback. You can complain about that. Yes, we have these issues. Yes, we have those issues. But again, it's a new toy vibe. It's like getting a new car. There's so much we need to learn. And again, like when you get a phone, you don't know everything about it. You're going to learn, and you look forward to that. My God, I'm looking forward to this football season, Mike. And again, in just 12 days, it's already going to be June, if you can believe that. Almost there, Chris. Always great seeing you here, brother. Let's do Scoot along on the board. I'm going to go to Squeed. He says, I don't know if you guys discussed it, but I think Mason Rudolph should be the quarterback to go. I've heard rumors of Howard being traded. Makes no sense. We need to see what he has at some point. I agree. And not getting the chance to see him due to his injury last year certainly hurt him. And again, Squeege, we did talk about Chris Sims. Chris Sims and his ridiculous comment, Mike, where Chris Sims says, wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers cut Drew Aller this summer. But again,
the dumbest take possible. I'm
I
just going
agree.
to start saying dumb things.
Just
and
things that
see
don't
if it
even
sticks.
right. Broderick Jones is going to lead the team in tackles this year. Shit like this.
First round tackle, a threat to be cut.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Max Iron Anchor is on the chopping block.
We're going to scoot forward here just a hair, just to kind of keep up with the curve. Mike right here, Squeege TV. He says, like the video, guys. We appreciate that as always. Squeege, thank you so much, my man, and great seeing you. John Anthony says, I'd hope so. Aren't the Steelers D still the highest paid? Is the last I know that they were. I knew that they were. Tyrants.
Either one or two. And it's only off by like a few, like a $500,000.
Ty is saying, 191. Ty 133 on the offense is what they're paid out. Let's go to Squeege. Not having Tomlin's Tampa 2, that the whole league knew how to torch. Being going will be interesting to see how it impacts the defense. And it's the thing, it's a whole new system. A whole new system. So I'm very excited about that. Let's go to Ty. I'm excited with Graham's scheme change. Right, I am too, dude. Everything about this excites me. Everything about this team right now excites me. How can you not be excited about our Steelers? Tyrone says, I love top 10 offense and a top 20 defense, or a top 10 defense and a top 20 offense would be nice. Anywhere out of them damn early 20s and mid-teens. I like to see this team excel a little bit, Mike, and be one of those teams that are starting to crack that top third of the league.
Yeah, because we're in that nebulous middle of the NFL where there's 4 teams up top, 4 teams up top, 5 teams down below. We're there. If we can crack that top, man, like you're saying, this team has talent to do it. They got a lot of young talent to do it too.
Yeah.
And they have a nice mix of veterans that have been there, and a mix of veterans like Cam and TJ who want to get there, to get to that Super Bowl that they've been chasing their entire career. So they have a team to do it.
Somber. He says this. He says, yes, the talent and the money spent on defense, top 5 should be the floor. It should even, nothing's guaranteed, but you should be flirting with that position.
And that's where the expectation should be.
Yeah. John Anthony says, Squeege, I saw a Pickett jersey on a clip of a dude in Haiti, not to laugh at poverty, but where I'd expect to see a Pickett jersey. I would totally have a Pickett jersey. I would own a Pickett jersey and I would wear it proudly, but the Steelers Pickett jersey,
you know what? For Christmas, if you're good, I might get you a Pickett jersey.
I would wear the shit out of it. I'd wear it every day.
I know you would, and you would like it.
I would wear it every day. Let's go to right here. Squeege says this. Did you guys see Darius Slay talk about Tomlin's defensive schemes? Basically said every play the defense would call was outside leverage based. He sounded pretty. I did. We did talk about that briefly last week, Squeege. Again, I mean, it's a point, and we kind of debated: was it sour grapes, or was it But at the end of the day, it isn't like our defense is doing amazing things. And these are things that you kind of hear over time accumulating. So again, I'm excited for the change. Let's see what we could do. Step it up, and maybe the defense could go out and win football games. The offense could go win football games. Maybe a little Weegan, Mike. Maybe he could take one to the house and help us win some football games as well on the special teams. Of course, Mike, special teams making changes. Miles Killebrew, not here for the first time in many years, the captain of our special teams for years.
Yeah, Homer. Yep, I was about to say Homer.
And how can you not like a guy whose name is spelled like Homer? Let's go. Steelers Sheik. Steelers Sheik, always great talking to the Sheik. From the Middle East, Steelers Sheik says this: I think we have a chance this season to get the 7th ring, brother. I hope you're right. Wouldn't that be just wild? Because again, don't the Steelers do that? You're going to finish in last place. The Ravens are going to be dominant. Well, what do? We swept the Ravens. We finished first place in the division. We made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be something if we, kind of made this interesting?
Yeah. Well, I saw it on ESPN, one of their talking heads saying, "Oh, sneaky pick is the Bengals. I mean, look at that division and look at that team. They can do it." I'm like,
yeah.
Are the Steelers like? Is there a blind spot to?
There has to be
to the Steelers and what they've actually done, because there's the narrative of like what the team is, and then there's the facts of what the team is. And the narrative and the actual facts are so the gap between them is wider than the gap in Derpy's titties. Like it's insane.
The cleavage of Derpy's titties.
I just wanted to work Derpy's titties in there and say, come on, it kind of fell apart, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Derpy's titties always causing problems. Let's go right here to Lindsay Slay sucked too. He was terrible. And that was kind of where I come up with that idea last week in the debate. Maybe he just had sour grapes, but when you think about it more, and he went from a team that was playing Super Bowl winning defense to a team that had been struggling. So I don't know that he would lie in that sense, but I don't know. Let's move on. Mark Malone, Graham going to showcase JPJ this preseason for trade bait.
Oh, damn.
Tyrone just went from his head just blew through the roof. In case you're wondering what's going on at Tyrone's work right now, his head just blew through the roof of the place. John Anthony says, I really hope Watt and Hayward finally get the ring that they deserve. I hope so, too. Let's go to Somber. I hope so. Makes more sense on the right. Squeeze. The beauty of the offensive line situation is that most of them are versatile. They find the correct spots for those guys. And maybe that's the way they'll fix this. And if they do, fantastic. I'm not going to sit here and go, ha, 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 my guy, your guy. No, it's bullshit. Let's fix the shit. Let's get it fixed. Yeah. Let's win football games. So we can talk about how great the Steelers are from top to bottom all the time. And listen, if we're winning, I'll tell you how great Noel, Cower, and Tallman is all the time, just because we're the Steelers. Back off. Winning fixes a lot of things. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. He says Rashee Rice violated his probation after testing positive to marijuana, which is fucking crazy. In a country where it's legal in a lot of places. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Rashee Rice violated his probation after testing positive. That's like testing positive for alcohol. I hate these rules. For marijuana, per Matt Foster TV, he's been ordered to serve 30 days in jail.
That was part of his plea deal for all of his legal issues. They'll drug test you for anything. And like, hey, we're technically you probably should have been in jail at some point, but you're getting a plea deal. Part of it, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't go to places that serve alcohol.
Don't do legal things that anybody could do.
But that's part of like, hey, we're allowing you to be out in public to live your life.
Like his ARD, like his.
But hey. Now he's facing the consequences because he probably should have already had those 30 days in jails. Guy's an idiot. And the Chiefs kind of fucked up. They should have went receiver early in the draft. Like it's come on, dude. You have the once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't do stupid shit for 5 years. Yeah. Get your money, then go do stupid shit.
I was never a big Rice guy anyway. I wasn't a big fan of his play on the field, but I didn't know about this, and unfortunately, I again, kind of crazy shit. It's crazy because, like, say somebody and say you drink, you go out to the bar, you get into a fist fight. The cops come along, they arrest you. And now you got to go to all these class. You might not have any problems. You might not have to have drinking problems. Maybe you just went out and got into a fucking fight. It happens. They put you through the circuit, man. They put you through the courts, the programs, the classes. I don't care for that, because if it's legal, fuck off. It doesn't matter why I got into a fight. The fact of the matter is I fought, and that's why I should be in trouble. Putting these guys in AA, like I said, you may not even be a drinker. That's how ridiculous it is. I could somewhat relate to this from an earlier life experience. I'm not going to get into it, but just kind of crazy in my opinion. Let's go here to Squeege. He says this, okay, Browns fans talk only smack. What else are they going to do? That's it. That's all they have. They're getting a stadium, though. They're getting a dome. I guess that's probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened for the Cleveland Browns, I would guess, which is stupid for the AFC North. Let's get a dome. But there you go. Let's go Tortilla. He says Omar communicated with Rogers via DMT. DMT, yes. Let's scoot along right here. Squeege, of course, Brown. Okay, we did get that one. Squeege says this. What else are they going to talk about? Talk about the Browns. Browns fans and Steelers podcast says enough about how bad things are over there. They would rather speak to us. That's crazy if you think about it. Vegas says a wise man can play the part of a fool, while a fool can't play the part of a wise man. Ooh. Great seeing Vegas all the way from Las Vegas, my man. Great seeing you. Tyrone says he's ready for training camp. You making the trek over, dude? Are you coming over to camp this year? I know a few people. I know Chris is coming up from South Florida. I do know a few people who are coming to town from out of town for camp this year in Latrobe. It won't be too long now, guys. John Anthony, for sure, man. You did. You got the game ball today. Congratulations. Vegas says masturbating is gay because you're letting a man touch you. I've never thought of it in that way, but not that there's anything wrong with that. Let's do scoot along. And yes, I'm a Seinfeld fan in case you picked up on that. Tyrone, a day at nose tackle does if Day at nose tackle does his job, then maybe Queen might be a little better this year. That's a good point as well, Mike. Maybe if Day comes up, amongst other things, it's not just going to be Day being stuck into Mike Tomlin's defense. It's a whole different game now.
Yeah, and I don't know how much they're going to run that base 3-4 set, because Graham said they're going to see a lot of 5 defensive backs out there. So whoever's out there up front, they're going to have to. They're just going to have to eat up blocks for the most part. It sounds like they're going to go back to just doing that. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll wait and see. But whoever's out there up front, they're going to have to do their job in that run game, because if you're running 5 DBs, you're looking to shut down the pass. You're not looking to shut down the run. It's going to be interesting. Absolutely.
Let's go, Mark Malone. He says the Big Johnson will be on the rise, Mike. That is Mark Malone's pick. And you know what? It doesn't surprise me. Mark Malone, always waiting to see the big rise. The rise of the Big Johnson. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says he has to tackle better. Hope Graham works on that. For sure. John Anthony says Rogers and Pat have a great relationship. I just don't know why he didn't throw to him last year. He threw it to, listen, and it seemed this way. This is the way that it seemed. If you look at it theatrically, there was a long ball down the right sideline last year, early in the first quarter of the season, that popped out of Pat Frymuth's hands. And then after that, Mike, he just wasn't taking those shots or getting the ball to Pat, or even focusing on getting the ball at Pat Freiermuth. It didn't seem like a lot of the time, which is crazy considering you didn't have really many other targets out on the football field. That's my issue, John. Again, they could be great friends. I just don't understand what caused that last year, because Pat certainly fell off in an offense that could have used him more.
Because there was, going back and looking at game logs this season, there were games where he was Freiermuth was targeted heavily. Then you go 2 or 3 games when he wouldn't be targeted at all. Then another game where he got a bunch of targets. A couple games, nothing. So was it something between those two? Was it Arthur Smith not wanting to utilize Pat Freiermuth because his big thing wherever he's gone is like, oh, this is what people think we're going to do. We're going to do the opposite. So I don't know what and why his numbers fluctuated so much, but go back and look at the game logs. You can tell certain games, heavy Pat Freiermuth usage, other games, he didn't even see a single
I
target.
know.
And you look at his snap counts, certain games, snap counts would be so low. Other games, they were so high. So I don't know if it's part of the game plan or not, but like he should have been game planned to be a huge contributor in that offense last year.
I know. I'm just going to grab John Anthony's real quick on the bottom, and I'm going to go back a little bit. John says we had 4 tight ends last year. I don't know why we didn't go to all 3 tight ends. The only tight end they went to was the guy that, well, don't get me wrong. Darnell started getting his catches as the season went. But of those 4, the only tight end that they consistently went to was Jonnu Smith, and he was the worst one in my opinion.
Right.
You wouldn't have known that going into the season, obviously coming off a Pro Bowl performance and great numbers in Miami. But at the end of the day, that was the only consistent when it came time to tight ends was throwing it to Jonnu Smith, Mike. And the only other consistency was the other guys not getting their targets, mainly Muth. As I said, Darnell Washington, it really started to snowball as time went on because he was basically literally snowballing as a snowball would come down a mountain, and just guys were bouncing off him. They had no choice to use him, and rightfully so. But at the end of the day, I don't know what the hell that was last year. It carried over from the year before with Arthur, and again, I'm happier right now where we are. Kind of glad those days are behind us. And yeah. Let's go on. Dude says this. Dude says DK might get close to earning his money, and I hope you're right. If he could have one of the seasons and it wasn't a bad year. I mean, he didn't have the numbers that you want from a number one, but at the end of the day, for what it was that we were going through.
Yeah. Like he wasn't far off from like his yearly averages last year without a legit number 2 option. And without a legit offensive coordinator and game plan. So
and
it
literally
was
took Jacob Fitzpatrick and threw him across the field. I mean, the guy has it. You know what I mean? Mike, just put him in a better opportunity to showcase himself, I think is going to go a long way for DK this year. And I hope it does. I love DK. I'd like to see him really dominate this year.
Like him and Pittman, I don't think it's like a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 situation. I think it's receiver 1A and 1B type situation. I think both those guys can be really dominant. It's like it might be like dictating. Like one game, one of those guys will get the bulk of the targets, and the other game, the other guy make the bulk of the targets. But be ready when the ball comes to you in those limited amounts because they're both so good. You're going to have to spread that ball around, but I think they're both going to be happy because if you win and you're not getting the ball, you're still going to be happy. But if we start losing and guys don't get the ball, there might be an issue there, but I don't foresee that happening.
Yeah. Let me go right here. I'm going to go here. Tortilla, Patrick Queen should try running back. Vegas is Aaron Rodgers with a better year, with a better line, better coaching, and more weapons. And the thing is, I mean, is the line better? I think that's still up for debate, guys. Again, we're talking a Spencer Anderson who couldn't start. He is now being on the starting line. Or we're talking rookies. We're talking, Dylan Cook, who is still on very limited amount of experience. You lose Fatanu. I mean, I'm sorry, not Fatanu, but Siamalo. Yes, he was getting older, but he was a veteran on really good teams. We're hoping that this offensive line gels and becomes something like. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of question marks about the pieces. You could see how it could work, but at the end of the day, we haven't seen this group of guys play together. So there's going to be question marks. But I agree for the most part. I'm hopeful that the offensive line is going to do a lot better. I'm hopeful, as you were mentioning, the coaching and the weapons are certainly an advantage Vegas. Dude says this, Mike, DK Mike. Okay, we did get that. Excuse me, Tyrone. He says, Christine texted me and wanted me to tell everyone, hello, go Steelers. Oh, hey, tell Christine we said hello.
Say hi.
And tell her we says, go Steelers. Right back at you. Let's go to John Anthony. John Anthony says this, I think for trade talk, you don't trade for a journeyman unless you're desperate for a quarterback. You trade for a young guy this time of year. Might be something to the Howard rumors or whatever, for whatever reason. Let's go to Mark Malone, the great Mark Malone. He says, I'm a fan of Himmer Heinenreich. I'm not sure what this means. I have speculation, but Mark Malone, you never fail to what doesn't he fail to do, Mike? What does Mark Malone do better than everybody? He
stir the pot.
Stirs the pot. We have a lot of pot stirs, but he has his own way. Him and Cody, they both really define the way that they stir the pot. Let's go to Himmler, of course. Himmler Heinenreich, not Himmer. I still can't imagine what that could be referring to. Let's go to Ty. Tyrone says Bernard on offense and J Ram on defense. He's going to show him off. You know what? J Ram, a big defense might be a big improvement, Mike, this year. Again, he kind of had to accommodate other things where now that might not be the case. J Ram might be able to go out and do J Ram things and cause some havoc.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd move him around the defense. That's where he was best last year. You can see he's not a lockdown number one anymore, but he's still a really good piece to have in that defense. You can do a lot with him out there.
Let's go to Dude says Harmony is going to be a force. Harmon, I think, to tend with. John Anthony, hey, I'm 43 and in my prime. I agree, John. Not a bad age. Not a bad age at all. Let's go to. I think John's saying that maybe we should give him a shot, quarterback, because our quarterback is 43. I think maybe is what he might have been saying. Vegas says I think my prime was. That's what I thought. Vegas, I think I peaked in elementary school and I won that. You know what I won? Mike, remember whenever the Challenger exploded back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
I was in elementary school and we were really into space at the time. And I painted a picture. I mean, it was garbage, but it was better than everybody else in my class. And I won the 3rd place ribbon in my class. There was 3 places, and I won. I basically just made a big sloppy outer space. It was stars, and I think I peaked. I peaked at that moment. So right around when Challenger exploded in the 80s, that's when I was hitting my stride.
That was your fireworks show for you peaking?
Yes.
I feel sick saying that.
You're right. Let's do.
I remember watching that shit happen live.
It was insane. All the kids were crying. And the thing was, because it was a teacher, there was a teacher that
went
up on the rocket.
To watch it. Yeah.
And we were in 2nd grade, and they were like, "Oh, the teacher." So it was big. You were into it.
Yeah. And then a week later, we were all making dead teacher jokes about being a Challenger.
I did. That was when I peaked, though.
Yeah.
So, hey, I was more successful than the flight itself. Got to admit.
Right.
Let's move on.
Damn.
John Anthony says, yeah, Broderick Jones will lead the team in tackles when the Steelers sign Joe Montana. Let's scoot down here just a little bit more where Mark Malone. Oh man, it did this thing on me here on the board. Oh, you know what? Psh, look at that, right back at it. Mark Malone says Rodgers should pay him back now that Jones's neck is hurt. Yes, just go tackle his ass. Ryan, a little extra caffeine before. I don't know. I mean, I had my coffee as usual. I don't know if it was any more than usual though. Not sure what brought that question up, but let's scoot a little bit here to the Squeege man. Squeege says, I'm going to be so pissed off if it's still bubble screens, tight end tosses, jailbreak screens, and flat routes on 3rd and 15. LOL. I mean, obviously, we're all, yeah.
Let's go. I'm waiting for the first one to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I'm going to throw something at the TV.
I know. Give me a jet sweep. I'm out of here. Let's go to Ty. Ty says y'all both better get that JPJ. It's on my list, dude. I have about 5 guys that I would like to get, and it just comes down to being at the right place with the right amount of money or whatever. But JPJ is certainly on my list of people I'd like to get their jersey. Vegas just watched Dallas and quarterback when Mike was the coach. That is what we were going to see. I love that. I love that idea. Squeege letting go of Killebrew was one of the decisions I actually questioned. Yeah, I mean, that player usually is around for a really long time. When you have a special teams captain, you tend to keep that guy around a long time. But again, I think he's going to do fine in Tampa Bay. I think it's built. It's a nice system for somebody like Miles Killebrew with the special teams and the defense. Tyrone, no, I'm off. Saw it. Nobody can get me anymore. I know JPJ bag talk. I'm going to get a couple more here, Mike, and then we are going to get into the trivia as we are rounding 3rd base on the show. And I do want to say Bucco's back at it today, Mike, so you're not going to want to miss that later. They're the Cardinals. Let's go right here. Squeege. We have so many primetime. This was the big thing. Another argument was Aaron Rodgers make the decision because they wanted to see how the schedule was going to look with primetime games. Again, that's more BS. I mean, I don't even remember who was saying that, but whatever. Furio, Mike Furio, he says this: Aaron Rodgers took so long because of the schedule due to primetime games, because last year they went 0-3 in the first primetime games they play. This is another narrative, Mike, that's out there being spun about Aaron Rodgers and his arrival.
Yeah, Mike Florio has this weird obsession with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I know.
And just concoct stuff out of nowhere, and pure conjecture is fact with him. It's fucking wild.
Somber says Mike Florio is turning into Skip Bayless. Nobody wants to be Skip Bayless.
No.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this section right here, and I'm going to go through them, Mike, and then we're going to jump into the trivia question of the day. Hint is... I don't want to give you a hint because it might... we'll be right at it. I'm jumping right in here where Vegas, he says, the NASA jokes were soon to follow. Aaron Jade, what does NASA stand for? In Hebrew, I know it means to deceive. Let's go to Vegas. He says, oh, no. Aaron Jade says, need another 7 astronauts. Vegas says that was the first one ever. Somber, watch Weegan take the jet sweep. I know. Could you imagine? Maybe Weegan could take that jet sweep to the house. Hey, I'd be for that. Let's go to John. John Anthony says, no, I'm not a lineman. My hands were busted up 20 years ago. 20 years old to prove it. Both shoulders separated, playing nose guard at 183. I have disdain for the offensive distrust for offensive linemen to this day. I did play some nose tackle in my younger years as well. John, let's go to we did get somber with that. John also says offensive linemen are often dirty players. Just facts. Clayton say, you know what? They're a special breed. They're definitely a different breed, the offensive line. And finally, Vegas says, damn, John, you should have had disdain for the coach that put you at that position at 183. Nose guard was the thing way back in 1933. Guys, I am going to, what am I going to do? I am going to cleat Mike. I'm going to cleat you, and I'm just kidding. I'm going to throw the ball to you, Mike, and you can tell everybody about the website.
Head on over to the Yinzers.com, everyone. We got the Steelers news and news report over there every day. We got some NFL news over there. We got all the links to all of our social media. And if you want to as well, don't forget there's a link to the merch store if that's your thing. So check it out at the Yinzers.com.
I mean, that's what it says on the internet. So Vegas, I don't know. Again, I'm not even in the mood to debate that right now. It's just kind of what's off the top of my head. But let's get into the trivia question of the day, guys. It is time. Let's bust into some trivia. Mike, this question is about 2-point conversions. I mixed it up a little bit today. Off topic, has nothing to do with anything. Usually the questions are somewhere relatable to the topic of what's going on with the Steelers. Today, it's all about. I watch all kind of things, Vegas. I watch all kind of things. Today, it's all about 2-point conversions. Here we go, guys. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Everybody at home, put your thinking caps on as well. This is the question of the day. Name the Steeler player that has recorded the most 2-point conversions in team history. Name the Steeler player that has recorded the most 2-point conversions in team history. Now, with that being said, the clue is they started the 2-point conversion back in the mid-90s. Back in the mid-90s, they started the 2-point conversion. The question of the day, name the Steeler player that has recorded the most 2-point conversions in team history. Take a moment to think that over. We're live 5 days a week, right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, even 3 o'clock p.m. every day, right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Seeing some different answers up on the board, Mike. I'm seeing Tortilla saying Rashard Mendenhall. Ty is saying Bell. John Anthony is saying Ferrier. Guys, how many scored the 2-point conversion? Somber is saying Hines Ward. Guys, Vegas, we went for 2 hella times with 1 year with Ben. Question of the day, one more time, Mike. Name the Steeler player that has recorded the most 2-point conversions in team history. Extra point if you could tell me how many it was. Mike, what's your thought process here? John Anthony saying possibly, probably Bettis. Another good guess. A lot of different good guesses on the board. I do want to say that. Yeah. Mike, what is your thought process for the player that scored the most 2-point conversions for the Steelers in team history?
Like, I'm thinking about some 2-point conversions when Ben was out injured to help us win games. So I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell. And is this your final answer, Mike?
Yeah, final answer, and I have no clue either. How many times?
You'll throw a guess up. You might be right. Just throw a number up, Mike. I'll give you a hint. It's between 1 and 10.
4.
All right. So Le'Veon Bell with 4 2-point conversions is what you're going with. That is your final answer. I see Christophus is saying Juju Smith-Schuster. Also, I see right here Squeege is saying, I don't know, maybe AB. Let's go Somber. I'll guess 7. Mike, you guessed 4. Somber said Ben. Loved the word on those 2-point conversions. No clue how many. A lot of good answers, guys. A lot of good guesses. If they are your guesses, perhaps you know. Perhaps the right answer has been said. Perhaps it has not. Guys, the question of the day on the show today, Mike, is name the Steeler player that has recorded the most 2-point conversions in NFL history. Mike, for the Steelers, of course, this player had 5. John Anthony, he just said 11. The answer is 5. This player, 5 2-point conversions, led the Steelers all time. The answer was mentioned on the board. And the answer for the person that scored the most 2-point conversions for the Steelers in history, Hines Ward, had 5. Hines Ward had 5. So, you know what? Whoever had answered that the way that they did, you were 100% correct. Ben loved Ward on those 2-point conversions. Somber said that was exactly the thought process. That was exactly how it played out. Somber says, dang, 5. Vegas, 5 is my guess. Mine too, Vegas.
I'm guessing, changing my guess to Hines Ward with 5.
No, Hines Ward is incorrect. No, I'm just playing. Holy shit, Somber. No, that was perfect. Perfect. That was it. Somber says, Dub, I'm on my way. On a day 2 heater. Nice.
Hey, you win one more, Somber. That's called a winning streak.
That's right, baby. So there you go. Hines Ward, 5 2-point conversions converted. And that's actually really high, Mike. I think that's tied for 3rd all time in the NFL when it comes to 2-point conversions. He's tied with a bunch of players, but I do believe that is what I saw. 3rd most, Hines Ward with 5 overall. Mike, today's show, a lot of things we talked about. We talked, of course, about the offensive line. We talked a lot about the good vibes. Talked some quarterbacks, talked some Rodgers. Your thoughts on today's show?
Man, good show. A lot of good topics. Like the O-line, man. We're going to see a shit ton of combinations between now and training camp. Probably even between now and the regular season. But I think by the time they get to training camp, between there's 4 OTA sessions, 4 different time periods, we're going to see so many different line combinations. But I have a feeling by time training camp hits, it's going to be, I'm going to throw out an early prediction, Fatano, McCormick, Frazier, Dunker, Mad Max will be the line that starts training camp.
All right.
I think they're going to want to just try everyone out, but they're going to settle on that one to have that group ready to go. Because I think that gives us the best opportunity to win now and into the future.
If you love sports, that might mean that you like taking one back, Mike. Sitting down and enjoying some sports, especially football, and having a cold one. If you do, Mike, I just suggest maybe stopping at the Giant Eagle and picking up either the 6-pack or the 12-packs that they do now have available at Giant Eagle. Or maybe you want more, stop and get yourself a case wherever cases are sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner, they really help us out a lot when it comes to promotion, and we do appreciate that. So we do want to spread the word. Go check out their social media. If maybe you don't drink, that might be the route to go. But we do always have Duquesne Pilsner here at the studio on tap for any kind of events that do come along, because it is made right here in the Berg, Mike, and it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, you can check us out on social media as well, guys. We are all over social media. You can check us out on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, and keep up with what's going on with the 2 Dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below, guys. Hit the like, hit the sub, the share, even leave a comment if you will. It all helps in the algorithm, guys, and we appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, one more day of OTAs. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get into that and all the other information, Mike, that comes up between now and then. So much stuff with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know the vibes are good. I could feel them here on the show. I can feel them on the board. I can feel them like this team. Everybody is excited about their Pittsburgh Steelers.
The city's fired up for the Steelers, baby.
It really is. It really is, guys. We are just as excited as you are. You are just as excited as we are. They are just excited as they are. Everybody's excited. I'll grab one more here. My man Vegas, he says this: have the Steelers ever had an offensive-minded head coach before? Not any of the big 3.
Nope.
The big 3 are all defensive guys, and this is what I like, Vegas. This is something that something interesting. You know, I do like the defensive mind, but again, we never had the offensive mind coach, so that is something that I'm certainly looking forward to see how that plays out for us as well. Guys, I do want to say this. I want to say we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get into it. Mike, tomorrow's hump day already, if you can believe that. Weather's starting to come down a little bit, which is nice. Again, very, very hot yesterday, over 90 degrees here in Western PA. But I do want to say this, guys. Thank you so much to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. The new faces, the new names, old faces, the OGs, no matter who you are, guys, it's all about you. This show is about you. You do drive this show every day of the week. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you, everybody on the board. You guys are amazing, as always keeping the show interesting. The Terrible Board, always, Mike, the MVP. It's not even about game balls anymore. The Terrible Board is all about MVPs, and that's what they are, and that's what they deserve. I do want to say also thank you, everybody at home. Maybe you're watching, maybe you're listening. You're in the car, you're at the gym, maybe you're at work, in the stall, taking a little break at work. I know all about that. Thank you, too. We'll be back tomorrow again, guys, at our regular time. Grab a few more here as we go on the way out. Mike, I do see Tyrone, another great show, you bastards. We appreciate you as always, Ty, my man. Also, have a good one, y'all. It's John Anthony. Great having you, John, as well.
Yes.
Everybody, guys, again, thank you so much. I will get caught up on all these messages here within the next hour or so. So thank you for them all. We appreciate them. Vegas, what year did you travel back to? Summer. So again, there you go. guys are still going and still having a blast on the board. I want to say thank you one more time to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see everybody then. For us at the show, Mike, we do have Finch, we do have Derpy, we have RB Shop. I was the thing I was doing. I was trying to think because I wanted to really incorporate that reaction somehow, and I was going to bring it up, and I thought, you know what, we'll talk more about the reaction tomorrow. So yes, Chop, RB, Mike, myself, the two Yinzers. Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.